Oh, baby. It's time for more documents in space. I guess I should turn my fan off. Totally forgot to do that. Oh, wait. Hey, Yini. Thought you said, yeah, my favorite text adventure, indeed. Thought you said you wouldn't be here live. I think she is gonna try and get some sleep. Good to see you, Iggy and Buckethead. Yeah, get some sleep, Yini. The VOD will be here. Unless something really out of hand happens. Alright. Let's go ahead and get started. Audio's looking decent. I think we're good to go. Awate Amiki, my name is Faustus Marius Incitatus, the true consul from the favorite horse of the God Emperor Caligula. Hope you are having a fantastic... You know why that's easier said than done. Yeah, I know. Hope you're having a fantastic day, everyone. Yeah, sorry, I was distracted by the Yin messages. You know why that's easier said than done. Yes, I do know why that's easier said than done, but it must be done all the same. Oh, goodness, okay. Yeah, I'm not feeling 100% tonight either, but definitely wanted to get into this, and I wanted to get into this sooner rather than later because I figure if I wait a week in between sessions with Analog, I'm probably gonna forget a lot of the shit. So yeah, it's still mostly fresh in my mind. Hopefully, it's sort of fresh in your mind. I'll try to remind people of what's going on, but yeah, can I just say that I really like this game because it's actually sort of an approximation of, I mean, not a close approximation, but it's sort of a representation of a historian's work, right? It is very much sifting through documents and figuring out what's relevant and drawing your own conclusions, and you typically don't have an AI waifu there to hold your hand, but, you know, figuratively at least. But yeah, I like the game because it's actually... See, I managed to bring the AI waifu sim around to history because, yeah, it is very much, very, very much a matter of, this is what a historian would do. Anyways, yeah, my day was kind of, whatever. I enjoyed watching Yini's stream. I slept in way too late, didn't get much accomplished. Yeah, the usual. Probably should have worked, did not. Oh, God. Oh, God. Alright. Anyways. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to be a long one. I might pass out here kind of quick, but we'll see. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. Let's pop on in. There she is. Okay. Yeah, let me know if the audio balance is about right. It looks good on my monitor, but I think, actually, if I recall, I was taking this a little lower than usual. But yes, so we boarded the lost generation ship, the Mugungwha, in search of the log files to figure out what the heck happened, why the generation ship came to ruin. We found an override terminal, and we met Hyune, who was very helpful, pretty cute. We also learned, big spoilers, that she was actually the Pale Bride that they spoke of in the documents, and apparently she uploaded her consciousness to the ship's computer or something like that. And it also apparently, according to this fine AI, caused the calamity, destroyed the Mugungwha, killed everyone. So this is Mute. We're working with Mute now, kind of figuring out what we can figure out. But yeah. We're learning more about the feud, about the excesses, about the idiocy of both the Smith and the what, Song Min, is it? Oh God, I should really remember. What's this, log documents? There was someone blocked 3, right? Yeah. No, 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 not Sungmin. Guess who's back? Hey, good to see you, Wolfie. Oh no, 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 not the letters to Hana. Please, not the letters to Hana. The Kims, yeah. The Smiths and the Kims, that's right. I can't believe I forgot Kim. Was in Valhalla. Well, welcome back. So yeah, let's read a little bit more. Yeah, we were learning more about the Smiths, because Hyune was kind of more aligned with the Kims, and Mute seems to be much closer to the Smiths. And the Smiths were the more powerful family, at least at first, so it makes sense. But yeah, we have a mourning dress from Ryu Chehua. And Ryu's were the actual emperor / captain. Anyway, I need to sleep. It is 4 a.m. Have fun. Good luck. Yeah, you too, Wolfie. Let's learn about the mourning dress. Normally, my conversations with Mute are of a rather frivolous nature, gossip in the affairs of some of the more important noble houses, as well as her trying to bait whatever she is able out of me. While I think such a flow of information is valuable so I might pass news to my husband that he might not otherwise hear, I would not consider her attitude to have any resemblance to seriousness. Previously, I had assumed that this was simply impossible due to her nature. While I do not really understand how, despite her explanations, anyone could live inside a computer screen, she says that she is an artificial person. Okay. I kind of wondered as much. Because Hyune is an artificial person. She uploaded her consciousness. And honestly, yeah, Mute kind of seems like more than a simple AI as well. I had assumed that perhaps her absence of a soul prevented her from feeling serious emotions. Ordinarily, she wears incredibly bold, colorful clothing, her golden hair absurdly well adorned. For the past month, however, she has been uncharacteristically humble, wearing unappealing brown dress with her hair undecorated. My curiosity got the better of me at last. Please, I have wondered, why are you so attired? It's unlike you, I asked. She gave me an odd look. Huh? She asked. It's mourning dress. That much was obvious, and not particularly the thrust of my question. Did you not tell me you were thousands of years old and that you have no family? For what reason are you wearing mourning? She gave me an annoyed look. A friend of mine died, okay? No, I don't have a family, it's always just been me. But this guy was a really good friend, and he definitely deserves that kind of respect, she said. We were super close. 315. Who died in 315? Oh, that was one of the Kim people, right? Do you wish to tell me about him, I asked. She gave me another look that I couldn't quite read, but seemed somehow sad. Nah, she said. I don't want to talk about it. Not now. I'll miss him too much. Hey, I'm going to go now, okay? I'll talk to you later. This was like this was the heir to the Kim family who died. Yeah. So she is hanging out with the Kims. Alright. I said goodbye to her and she disappeared from the computer screen, but as she did, I could have sworn that I saw her start to cry. Wow, yeah, that is not AI behavior. That is not AI behavior. Also, because Yini asked, I'm gonna check the pronunciation here really quick. Okay. Very simplified rules to help you pronounce Korean names. Consonants are pronounced as in English except for the following when they're at the beginning of words. Family names are written in their traditional English spellings. So a U is U, rule, so, and then an E, I guess it would be Muta, maybe? Muta? I call her Mute, but yeah, I guess it would be Muta. It's almost like a German pronunciation, Muta. Alright, what do you have to say for yourself, Miss Artificial Intelligence? Well, yeah. She probably did see me cry. I had a really hard time talking about it then, especially not to my mistress. I really didn't mean to be so vulnerable in front of her. That just isn't proper. Kind of embarrassing, really. So yes, you are absolutely someone else's brain uploaded to this computer. I'm sure you've already guessed, but yeah, the man in question was Smith Sungjong. Strictly speaking, there was no real mourning obligation. It's not like I was really family. Still. Man was the closest thing to a husband to me. I mean, don't take this the wrong way. It's hardly scandalous. I'm not a real woman. I'm just a computer. Uh-huh. But we had a really close relationship. So yeah, I thought it'd be appropriate if I honored him like he was. He never married, so it's not like anyone else would. I just figured the man deserved that much. Right. It was the Smith. Gotcha, yeah, the Smith patriarch who passed away. And the Smiths are going to hell. Yeah, he totally deserved at least that much. Sigh. That's rough. We have a letter to Sungmin, response to Sunghee, letter to Sungmin, response to Sunghee. Okay, so we have a little exchange taking place in 317 here. Oh, dearest brother of mine, as I'm sure you know, it's been 3 years since my husband died. I still mourn him in my heart, of course, and I'm sure I will forever, but the official mourning period's over. You probably also know that the Huang family isn't doing very well right now. Terribly, in fact, and only got worse when my husband died. Didn't help that we only had daughters, so I don't exactly have a son to look after me. Right now I'm completely at the mercy of his parents, and, well, as I said, no son. They only took me in because of that big dowry. They sure never liked me, and it's only gotten worse. Way worse. So I need you to help me out. Min, or they're just going to abandon me. Do you remember that story we read together as a child about that widow who had to turn to begging? I'm sure you remember how it ended. Well, that's gonna be me at this rate. Don't worry though, I have a plan. I've talked to my husband's brother about this, and I managed to discreetly fish some information out of his parents. They'd be willing to let me get married to him, and all you need to do is chip in a new dowry. 1.5 times the old one would be enough. Please respond as soon as possible, little brother, because I really need your help here. Love, Sunghee. Oh boy. Going to help out in the only way that I am able to with my body. Men are honored, women are debased. Yeah, I forgot to mention if you've not been following along, yeah, this society that they built on the Degeneration ship is kind of hilariously misogynistic. Sister Sunghee. Calm down. They may not be nice, but I'm sure they're not going to kick their son's widow out on the street. Do you have any idea how terrible that would look for them? It would be a huge disgrace on their name. As for remarrying, I'm sorry, but that's a lot of money you're asking. Besides, you know how much remarriage is looked down upon. Chaste widowhood may be a difficult standard to hold yourself to, but you will be honored forever if you can manage it. And if anyone is good enough to live up to that standard, I know it's you, big sister. I wish I could give you an easier way out, but I hope you realize it's for the best that way. Oof, Sungmin. You suck, you suck, you suck. Oh, generous and benevolent young brother of mine. I know you think I'm being hysterical and exaggerating. I'm not, I promise. It's funny you mentioned the importance of chaste widowhood, because they're talking about that too. Of course, I don't think you've got the same ideas in mind. They're talking about the sword that ends in an honorable suicide. Oh, dang. Actually, they've been talking about it a lot. We could, of course, go with that option and take my own life to honor his memory. Would you like to help me out with that? I'm not very good at either holding knives or tying nooses ever since the arthritis got serious, but if you could help out, that plan could work. If you're too busy to help your sister kill herself, though, you could just do the next best thing and send that dowry. I'm sure somehow you'll manage to figure out a way to find the money. I have faith in you, little brother. Wow. Wow. Getting I'm getting big Watamote vibes. It's like, hey, little brother, give me what I want, or I will kill myself. I remind you again, of course, that appealing to that family's honor is a waste of time. Father married me to a merchant, remember? You're talking about honor, but trust me, I've lived in this house for over two decades, and I've looked everywhere, even under the sitting cushions. They just don't have any. So I'm going to ask you once more, little brother, you can either send a new dowry, or failing that, come by with a nice sharp knife. But if you can't bring yourself to do at least one of those things, then my destitution is on your head. Do you think Father would be proud of that? You are the son, you tell me. With love, your sister, Tomoko. Sister, you are going to be the death of me, but I won't be the death of you. Fine, I'll figure something out. Tell his parents that I can offer them as much as the old dowry. I'll send a messenger by next week to work out the delivery of it. You're such a woman, do you know that? Manipulative to the core, that's what you are. The death of me, I swear. Indeed. And that's how we get what we want. Do you really have nothing to say about this? He wasn't always that bad. Oh, yeah. Right, this is Songman. This is like the patriarch of the Smith family who is kind of an idiot, but it seems like most of the stuff he did, it sort of was the result of, yeah, his siblings being worthless. Especially what, Song Jin, or whatever his name is. The drunkard. So yeah, he was definitely held down by his, by his siblings, and his duty to his family kind of took the fall for all of them. And that's how the Smith family got absolutely wrecked. And block 10, what do we got? Confidence. Have confidence. No confidence. When my husband asked what I thought of the idea of him taking a new wife, I presented him with the weakest of smiles but said that I thought it was a good idea if he thought so, that I would be happy if a younger woman were to relieve me of the pressure of bringing him a son. I have no doubt that this is the answer he wanted me to give, with a convincing enough expression to go along with it. If there is one thing I am confident in, it is my ability to read exactly what my husband wants to hear. Having heard that the girl he is considering is only 13 years of age, however, it's certain that I can have no confidence in any other thing. He'll take her in a few years, right when she's reached marriage age. She will be at the peak of her beauty and won't have matured too much. Doubtlessly, unlike me, she will have no problem delivering the son he needs. Perhaps jealousy is unbecoming of me, but it is pragmatic too. When we were young, his affections for me were so strong, but now we are both old. How can I possibly compete with a young bride? Hey, 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 hey! Some men prefer, prefer maturity. Some men prefer a wife that they can actually talk to, Some men also prefer a wife who's not gonna upload her consciousness onto the ship and kill everyone. So you don't get too down on yourself, Jaywah. Don't get too down on yourself. The Pale Bride's marriage. My fear of the Pale Bride, it seems, was unfounded. In my letters to her I wrote that I was not jealous. A lie, of course. As queen, it is true that I have authority over any of my husband's other wives, but that authority does certainly not extend to his affections, especially since she is a beautiful woman of only 15 years, and I'm a withered old lady 20 years her senior. Yes! A withered old lady of the ancient Methuselah age of 35. And yet I am not. Until she officially married my husband, I had only seen her briefly, at the formal interview. Aside from her beauty, she had made hardly any impression, but now she is living in my house, and I have seen more of her while she is not busy attending to the Emperor, and I realize now I have no cause for jealousy that is any fault of hers. She hasn't spoken a single word to me, and only looks at me from a distance. At first I mistook this for arrogance, as I thought she thought me unworthy of approaching. I realize soon that is not so. I see no smugness in her eyes, nor do I see happiness, nor sadness, nor anything else. She is afraid of me. Not the sort of fear that would show in her eyes, the sort of fear that would paralyze or leave her on edge. It's hardly noticeable at all, and yet I can tell. Her fear is that of resignation, the sort of fear where one simply waits for what one believes inevitable, whatever it is that she thinks I will do to her. She's not afraid that I will be jealous. She knows it and is simply waiting for the consequences. I cannot be jealous of a woman like that. I feel for her. I want her to feel welcome. I want to give her the hope she has clearly lost back. It's not out of jealousy that I say I earnestly want her to understand how lucky she is. When last I saw her, I took her aside and said, "Please, you do not have to fear me. If you ever wish to talk to me, please do find me." She said nothing, but she did smile a little. I've seen her smile before, but only in a hollow way, where the mouth moves and no emotion stir in the eyes. This was not that kind. I can hardly say what that twinkle in her eyes meant, but at least I don't think it was resignation. I do hope she talks to me soon for her own sake. Aww. So yeah, the Ryus seem pretty decent people. Alright, so we don't have any new blocks unlocked, so I think part of what I want to do is maybe go through some of the stuff that, yeah, we've seen most of this. So probably show Mute some of the Kim stuff, I think would be the way to do this. This is all Smith, yeah. Maybe like 5 or 6. Wife, the bride's adolescence. Have anything to say here? Yes, yes. I would. Oh, yes. This is about. This was about. Yeah, Hyunei finding out that she's gonna get married. So what do you think of this, Mute? Justifiably freaking out. So, like, you've talked to her a fair bit, right? What do you think of Hyunei? I don't hate her. Seriously? You can stand her? Did she tell you about the whole mass murder thing, or did she conveniently leave that out? She did not tell me about that, no. No, of course not. I'm sure even that awful bitch is ashamed of what she did. Okay, are you gonna spill the details? I would love to hear the details. Or maybe she just wanted to impress you. I don't think most men are turned on by that kind of lunacy, so I can see why she'd hide that. Oh, she missed her guess. It's probably better if you don't hear from me, though. I don't think you'd even believe it. Better ask her yourself. Okay, so what I'm going to do is give you an entire block that's full of nothing but questions for her. It might be a little hard to get the whole story out of her, but if you fake sympathy, she'll probably actually believe you. So there you are, a few questions to give to her. Drag the truth out of her, then tell me how crazy you think she is. Uh-huh. So yeah, she probably doesn't have anything more to say on the Pale Bride. Well, I think we should probably, go do that. We should probably... Let's check out these questions. Mute's questions. Alright. Question 1. Question, how are you doing? Okay. How do you feel about me? Yeah, tell me about these. Look, the questions are for her. They're perfectly straightforward. I don't think any need explanation. Take them to her yourself. You don't have to take my word for it. It's probably best if you hear it straight from the crazy bitch's mouth herself. Okay, so let's see what all of these are. How do you feel about me? Why don't you treat me with more respect? Uh-oh. Oh, what's going on? Hey, I hate to interrupt you, but I've just noticed we've got a very serious problem here. Yeah, no kidding. You've noticed that static on the line, right? I caught it too, but figured it was no big deal. Well, bad news, it's a big deal. Big deal to the tune of a reactor meltdown in progress, in fact. I have no idea what that bitch has been doing with the ship in the past 600 years, but whatever it is, it's caused some serious power strain. So when communication started up, well, looks like that was the tipping point that brought the ship out of low power mode and got the reactor going. The reactor that hasn't been maintained in centuries and was under the control of some idiot little girl for nearly as long. I don't suppose that you know anything about nuclear fission reactors, do you? You smash the atoms together, they make the big boom boom. Excellent. So you know exactly how much danger we're in then. You probably won't be able to get out of range in time. We're looking at a total meltdown in 20 minutes. Clock starts now. Right, well, I do know how to shut this all down and get everything back to safety again. If you were starting to get worried, well, don't be. When it comes to safety of the ship, I'm your girl. I'll be here to help you through this as much as you need. First thing we're going to try doing is simply using the disable action. I don't think this will work, mind you, but you never know. Ship's been in such a state of disrepair and non-maintenance, it's probably going to be really complicated. Still, try that for me, will you? Drop down to the terminal and just try shutting down the reactor directly. Okay. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Failure commands. Download disable AI, enable AI, help SU quit reactor. Okay. Reactor is currently enabled. Usage, reactor action. Emergency override control over the reactor system. So yeah, reactor disabled. No backup power supply is active. Disabling reactor now will permanently terminate your connection. Are you sure you want to continue? No. Reactor will remain enabled. Okay, let's talk to Muti then. I did tell you that the game would eventually limit you to what you could find out. Alright, power control. Power control action target subsystem. Enable disable list. Multiple systems can be enabled disabled in a single line. Okay. Power... Oh boy. Control list. Power usage at 99%, currently enabled systems. Bulkheads, communications, core 1, stores and executes, the 2 AI constructs. Core 2, core 3, storage empty, not currently in use. Docking system, main computer, do not ever disable, okay. Gravity, artificial gravity for all habitable decks, okay. Rail, internal transit system for rapid access across decks. Sensors, internal visible spectrum and radar sensor arrays. Organic waste recycling system. We could probably disable sensor. Oh, currently disabled subsystems, life support. I see. Sensors have been disabled. Okay. And let's get rid of the 3 cores as well. We could probably do that. And we can do multiple. Disable core 3, core 4, core 5, core 6. Okay. Let's see if no backup power supply is active. No. Okay. Alright, let's go back to Mute then. Whoops. No. Let's talk to Mute then and see what she thinks. Do you need gravity? You probably don't. Don't think this will work, mind you. Yeah. I already tried, oh, whoa, self-repetition there. You already tried doing that? Yes, and it did not work. Oh, and it didn't work, of course. Don't worry, that was to be expected. There's nothing to worry about just yet. Of course, it wouldn't be that simple. I'm not sure what's causing the technical problem. I'm going to do an account of everything and see if I can't figure it out myself. Yeah, I probably don't need gravity, honestly. Hold on for a moment, please. Oh, of course, that figures. I found the problem and it's pretty bad, I'm afraid. In simple terms, there's two power systems on the ship. One is the nuclear reactor, which is currently running and about to explode. Second is called the power storage system. It doesn't generate anything, it's just a battery. When the ship is in low power mode, it's supposed to run off the power storage system exclusively, and that should be enough. Problem is, the primary battery has been completely drained. Can't tell why, the system logs were incorrectly filed by a certain crazy bitch, but anyway, the point is that battery is dead. So that's why you were getting an error. If you shut down the reactor now, there's nothing to fall back on and everything goes down forever. Don't worry though, there's a secondary battery. If we switch to that, everything will be fine. All you have to do is tell the power storage system to use the secondary battery instead. And you'll be able to disable the reactor safely. Okay. Alright. Show me the, Alright, reactor, PSS, copy, power control. It's probably a PSS, right? Emergency control override of power storage system. Yeah. So switch battery, enable, disable. So PSS, switch battery. Power storage system status disabled. Okay. Insufficient power in active battery to meet power demands without reactor. Okay. PSS enable then. Power storage system has been enabled. Insufficient power in active battery to meet power demands without reactor. Okay, so try disabling unnecessary subsystems with power control. So I guess we need to get to 20%. Right. List again. Right. Power control list. Currently enabled subsystems. Okay. Okay. So yeah, we need to probably keep the bulkheads going. I want to keep both of the AIs going. So yeah. Disable waste. Rail. Do not ever disable the main computer. Gravity. Docking. External radio-based communications array. Yeah, I don't need that. So we have 1, 5, 5, and 7. So that should be enough. Communications, probably, yeah. Warning, disabling that subsystem will permanently terminate your connection. Are you sure you want to disable communications? No. Communications will remain enabled. Okay. Power usage is at 24%. We're gonna have to disable one of them, aren't we? Let me try to enable. PSS is already enabled. Starting to plan my next cosplay, chose Young King Cosmos. Yes. Boy. We're gonna have to disable one of them, aren't we? before I do this, let's talk to Hune. Disable AI. Oh, right, I have to do the star. That's right. Okay. Star in dash. What do you mean? Unknown switching error occurred. Unable to initialize AI Hunai. Okay. Well, in that case, if we can't talk to her, then... Okay, let's get Mute. Don't recall for sure, but I think you can disable one core at a time. Yeah. Boy. I mean, I guess I could, yeah, like, just disable, Mute's core and, re-enable Hunai's and, talk to her that way, so, yeah. Right. Don't do so while enabled, yeah. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. So, yeah. Okay. Core 2. This core has AI Hunai stored on volatile media. If unpowered, all data will degrade within 24 hours or less. Are you sure you want to continue? Data may be permanently lost. Fuck. Yes. Alright. Guess this is already enabled. Alright, and then I think I can... Will safely fall back on PSS if reactor is disabled. Continue, yes. Come on, come on. Reactor is disabled, logging disabled, engaging low power mode. Now, success, remaining subsystem transferred to power supply system. I got it, right? The reactor is disabled. Nice. Well done. You shut down the reactor successfully, it's now off, and we're running completely off the power storage system. We're not done yet, though. The reactor is off, but before you managed to do that, well, it already hit critical temperature. It's not getting any hotter, but unfortunately it's not getting any cooler either, and I'm starting to suffer some pretty serious damage from the heat. This is really, really bad. I'm sorry, I can't. Half my processors just aren't even responding. I can't think of a solution. I've let you down. I'm so sorry, I have no idea what to do here. Please, though, you have to think of some way to get rid of all the excess heat. We can open the bulkheads, right? I don't know what, but you have to do something before the damage becomes permanent. Please don't let me die here. Okay. I think... Bulkheads has been disabled. How about that? I figured it out. Okay, here's what you can do. First, make sure the bulkhead seals are in place, then enable the emergency life support to fill the empty chambers around the reactor with air. Next, disable the bulkhead seals to vent all that heated air into space. Ah, okay. That should, if I've done the math right, that should be enough to do it. Please hurry, though. There isn't much time. Alright, so enable bulkheads, enable life support, and then disable bulkheads. And I think, so we don't wreck everything, I'm gonna have to, yeah. Whoops. Enable bulkheads. Oh, I guess I could, enable life _ support. Life support has been enabled. And then... atmosphere is being vented into space. Woo! Nice. You did it! You did it! You saved my life! You have my deepest and sincerest gratitude. Really, if it weren't for you, I'd be dead right now. I owe you my life. Thank you. If you want to talk for a little bit before we get back to business, that'd be quite alright with me. Oh, nothing like a near brush with death, huh? Okay. I kind of want to... I want to see the rest of these questions. What do you really look like? Okay, so I can't help but notice that you had plenty of time but never did go back to Hyunei to get the whole story about the murders. Why is that? Is it because you don't believe me even enough to ask her? No, I just wanted to see the questions you're asking first. Oh, well, that's good. See if you can bring Hyunei back to life. Do you think it's just not important enough to ask about then? No? Okay. I was hoping you'd say that. All I can think then is that you'd rather just hear it from me, am I right? I genuinely no to all those questions. I just wanted to see the questions before I asked them. That's all I wanted, Mute. That's all I wanted. No. Then I'm completely confused, but okay. If you do want to hear it from me, though, you can indicate that just by showing me the question that I gave to you. Otherwise, just feel to go about business however you will, I guess. What do you really look like? How old are you? Look at the questions without asking Mute about them, right. How do you feel about, Muta? It's Muta, I guess, yeah. Why couldn't you just settle for a happy marriage? 8. Did you ever have any friends? Why did you kill all those people? Okay. Alright, so yeah, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and pull up the override terminal. I feel like... So let's see what happens if we enable Hyunei here. If that's gonna start draining the battery and fuck us. Insufficient power to enable that subsystem, try disabling some others. Okay. All data will degrade within 24 hours or less. Data may be permanently lost, yes. I really hope this doesn't ruin everything. Oh shit, I probably should have disabled Muta before I before I just pulled the plug out. Alright, Unknown switching error occurred. Unable to initialize AI Hyune. Okay. Her core is enabled. Did I typo something? Okay. So I'm actually, like, not able to hear from Hyune then. What's copy do? Copy source code target core. Transfers data stored in source code into target core. Any AI programmed will be unexecutable until stored in own core. Ah. Interesting. So maybe this is what we should have done. Let's try this. Copy core 2, core 3. That core is unpowered. I see. Well, this is your path now. Yep. You didn't talk to Hyune before the meltdown, so you're stuck with Mute now. Okay, okay. I guess so. Wow. Crazy that it went like that. Alright. Well, let's just hear the story from Muta then. Well, I guess there's not really much chance of asking her yourself now. I guess it'll have to be from me. So leave it up to you. Are you sure you want to go through with this? Yeah. Okay, then. I think you made the right choice, but, well, no turning back now. You don't want to read all her diaries, it's just really grating whining. Even I couldn't bring myself to read much of it, but here, there's one in particular I think you should see, and I swear this is her own word. Almost like the game told you to ask Hyune, and you went and blabbed to Muta. Uh-huh. Take a look at that one, and come back to me when you're done. Alright. I'll kill them all. 3-3, you're 322. Okay, so yeah, this is when it went down. Dear Diary, I was far too feverish to do any real cooking, so my servant was doing all the work for me that night when Father came in. I think he was drunk or maybe just tired or stupid. You know, child, he said to me, you grew up to be a wonderful daughter. I was shocked to hear him say that and waved my servant out of the kitchen. I never heard even the slightest indication of that before. For the briefest moment, it even made me happy to hear that. It surprised me that I actually felt that way. As a kid, I never would have wanted his approval. Why now? Actually, I'm gonna... One moment. Gonna slide myself down just a little bit so people can read. Yeah. He continued to make me wonder when he asked, "Do you remember what you were like as a child?" I nodded, but I wasn't certain I did. "You were so temperamental. You argued all the time. You didn't even want to get married when the time came. You just didn't ever know your place, you know?" "That's right. I didn't. That was back when I thought there was a point to being defiant." Why was that, I wondered. That's the part that amazes me now. I tried to think of a reason why I might want to be defiant, why I valued independence, and at first I couldn't even think of anything. I'd forgotten entirely. Don't tell young Sok, but it really scared me. You're always the family's best hope for prosperity, but that attitude of yours, I thought I'd never manage to disavow you of those crazy uncivilized ideas of yours, he said, while I tried to think of what they were. There were times I thought it was a mistake to have hatched you, but you came through, you really did. I know it must have been painful, but I'm proud of you. And he patted me on the head. You turned out to be a good girl. That's all I wanted to say. It was hard raising you to be a proper woman, but you turned out to be perfect. Thank you, he said. I stared, speechless, and I tried to remember, what crazy uncivilized ideas was he talking about? Thinking back to those days, or back to before I was frozen, I tried to remember. I had dreams of what adulthood would be, but they were so unimaginably different from what the reality turned out to be that they seemed impossible. Completely impossible, nothing more than the childhood fantasies without a shred of realism to them. I tried to think of what they were, to imagine them. In those dreams I was strong, independent. I wasn't just a wife in those dreams, I had a job, working as the ship's engineer, following in the footsteps of my father, my real father. I wasn't married in those dreams. I was happy just to go on dates with boys my age in the ship's plaza and fall in love before making any commitments. I dreamed of being free. The more I thought about it, the more I was certain. That's what those dreams were about. That's what I'd wanted. But father, Kim Jong-soo rather, had made sure to disavow me of those notions. I learned to stop arguing, to stop trying to fight, to stop dreaming of other things. In other words, I learned how to be a proper woman. And he was proud of that. Proud of destroying my dream. And now I would die under the house of that man, silenced, broken, hopeless, and unloved. I was overwhelmed by the strongest feeling I had ever felt in my life, the deepest bitterness, the most powerful resentment I could imagine. I looked at the knife near my hand and wondered, could I kill him? Before I died, could I at least have justice? Dang. I tried to lift the knife. My hand twitched and it was too hard to keep a grip. I was just too weak. I'd never be able to do it. He smiled at me and said, "Sorry, please, go ahead and keep cooking. I won't distract you more." Then just as he was about to go out the door, he added, "Take care of yourself." At that moment, I vowed that I would. I wouldn't worry any more about all those people who had hurt me. I'd take care of myself. I couldn't stab him to death, I was too weak for that. But then I remembered there were other ways. If I disable life support, I can kill him, and all the others too. It'll be quick, it'd be easy, and not a one of them don't deserve it. All I need to disable it is the admin password. It's perfect. And so she did. Well, okay then, so you've seen it all for yourself. In her own words, no less. That bitch is just insane. Completely insane. So you see, that's why I hate her. She killed everyone. She killed my master, her husband, the Emperor himself. She killed her own father, and she killed thousands of perfect strangers. She might seem pretty, but listen, she's crazy, and she's a monster. The last person to love her suffocated to death because of her. Well, you know what? That's sociopathic. That's appalling. It's damned unforgivable. I really hope you don't feel any pity for her after all that. But I do. Seriously? Seriously? You'd feel pity for her over her victims. You don't feel bad for her husband? You don't feel bad for her father? You don't feel bad for her brother? You don't feel bad for So-jin? You don't feel bad for the Smith family's little daughter? You don't feel bad for thousands of hapless peasants? Seriously? You'll feel bad for her when they're the real victims here? Yeah. It's not exclusive, Muta. I can feel bad for everyone. Yes. Well, I think that's repugnant. Look, if you still can't be convinced, at least you should see these log files of mine. They're kind of dry, but I think you should read them. Trust me here. Come talk to me when you're done with those. After that, well, we've got some things to discuss. Alright. Block 8. Last midday reports, maintenance logs, and camera footage. Ooh. Midday report for March 4th of the 322nd year. Reactor status nominal. 97% efficiency, don't worry about the fluctuation, it's fine. Temperature approximately 23.2 degrees Celsius within 0.1 Celsius. One birth recorded at 10:30 to Kang Ji-hoon. Market opened today at 9 o'clock with no complications this time. Foot traffic on the plaza at noon was 296 persons, slightly below expectations. Nothing else to report. Looks like it's going to be a dull day. Okay. Maintenance logs. Muta maintenance mode enabled, now performing emergency log recordings. So, 21:16:42. Life support manually deactivated by admin. Warning, 30 minutes of oxygen remain. Warning, 25 minutes of oxygen remain. Oh boy. Performing copy of muta source to new file muta2.c. Approximately 7 minutes until complete. Performing copy of muta source to new file muta2.c. Yep. So copying muta, interesting. Warning, 20 minutes of oxygen remain. Performing copy of muta source to new file 2.c, approximately 30 minutes until complete. Warning, failed login attempt by disabled user account Ryuen Ho, reporting to admin. Okay, dang, she freaking owned him. She got root and just owned him. Yep. Failed login attempt number 2 by Ryuen Ho. Failed login attempt number 3 by Ryuen Ho. Ryuen Ho is the captain. Performing copy of muta to new source file muta2.c. Failed login attempt number 4. Warning, 15 minutes of oxygen remain. Warning, failed login attempt number 5 by disabled user account Ryuen Ho, reporting to admin. 5 failed login attempts detected on terminal ID AA1112. Terminal is now disabled. Copy of muta source to new file muta2c has been completed. New shell script saved, running as admin. Initializing synapse scan. Sorry, sweetie, hang on tight. This is going to hurt a bit. Love, Dad. Uh-huh. What? Sorry, sweetie, hang on tight. This is going to hurt a bit. 10 minutes of oxygen remain. 5 minutes of oxygen remain. 0 minutes of oxygen remain. And 10 minutes later, no life signs detected on board. First warning until low power mode is engaged. Probably muta, yeah. Synapse scan completed. Data output to hune3.bin. Synapse data hune3.bin converted successfully to hune.core. Warning, this interface is still highly experimental. Make frequent backups. No life signs detected on board. Second warning until low power mode is engaged. Build targets muta2c hune.core. Output is hune. Compiling done. Success personality hune is now activated. No life signs detected on board. Final warning until low power mode is engaged. Logging disabled. Engaging low power mode now. So yes, she uploaded her brain onto the as an AI core. Alright. And moved... Looks like she took over Muta's AI core, actually, and pushed Muta to a different one. So she probably got all of Muta's powers or whatever. And camera footage. Muta, described from the security camera logs of the Kim family storage house. I activate the security camera on the orders of Kim Jung-soo, who has been locked out of his own storage shed by his daughter. All I can do is monitor it. I can't actually open the door. The pale bride is sitting in front of the computer screen near a large egg-shaped object. She wears an ugly hanbok, her braids have fallen out, and otherwise looks as miserable as ever. I personally only get a brief glimpse of her, then I get turned off. The security camera still runs, though. A loud knocking sound can be heard from the door. Kim is shouting for her to unlock the door, says he'll forgive her for stealing the key if she opens up right now. She doesn't say anything. The banging continues. She keeps typing code on the screen. After a while, the banging starts to slow down and Kim's shouts are too quiet to be made out. She staggers towards the egg and lies down inside it on a pile of broken glass. After a few minutes, the crazy bitch gasps for breath, then stops half a minute later, dead. Same thing must be happening everywhere else on the ship. Thousands of people suffocating to death. Her terminal continues to beep, the progress bar flashing even after her death. Alright, so... is that it then? If there's something else you'd like to show me, now's your chance. Otherwise... anything else I could show her? There's something else. Okay then, sure, no rush. Just go ahead and show me and you can let me know when you're all done. Anything else to show her? I think probably, like, the best... Best thing to show her would be, like, proof of why... Or something that shows her why she did what she did. No, she has nothing to say here. I guess I have nothing left to show you. Wonder if anyone on the ship that might have been an engineer or the like and have known about the egg who had a daughter to be sorry for. Been an engineer or the like, have known about the egg and who had a daughter to be sorry for. Anyone on the ship that might have been an engineer or the like. I mean, her father was the ship's engineer. So was it the same, No kidding. Oh no. Oh no, I think... Is Muta her sister? Or is Muta related to her somehow? She must be, right? Because that was probably the sequence that let him upload Muta, right? I assume she was doing that, and like, yeah, because she changed the destination to, like, for all the Muta stuff. Yeah. Facepalm. Or something. Certainly Muta can't be her, So yeah, her father's the engineer. Yeah, I don't quite get it, unfortunately. Log 8. This is all the maintenance logs and stuff. Wife. It's all the Kim stuff. Don't really know anything about this Kim Young-suk. I only know about men who actually have some importance. I don't think I can help you there, sorry. Hannah's dad was the engineer who put his daughter into cryosleep to cure her condition, but in case it wasn't possible, he made it so she could have her consciousness uploaded in case it never worked. That makes good sense. That makes good sense, yeah. Okay. Doesn't answer who Muta is, though. I kind of figured they must be... There's gotta be, like, some relation there, right? Maybe not familiar relation, but yeah. I don't know if maybe Muta's just someone he tested that technology on. Yeah. Muta's the ship's AI. But she doesn't act like it is the problem. Like, she acts like she's an uploaded consciousness. She really, really does. And she has, real question is, what happened before year 1? Exactly. Alright. I don't think I have anything more, unfortunately. Isn't really any point in showing me that now. Alright. Well, unfortunately, I guess that's it. Oh look, do you see now? She died in the end too, and that's fine. If she wanted to kill herself, well, it'd be screwing up her duties as a wife, but whatever. Why did she have to take everyone else with her? She killed everyone. She doomed everyone to an awful, suffocating death. For what? You know what pisses me off most of all, though? She never even said a word to me. Not a damn word. Fine, maybe she thought her life sucked. Maybe it's like those diaries of hers say. She was horribly dying and nobody would listen to her. And you know why? Because she never even said anything. She was my master's wife. It's not like I wouldn't. All she had to do was say something to me and I would have tried to help. I'm absolutely sure she knew that. So there's one conclusion. She was just plain crazy and deep down she knew it. She never talked to me because that'd just break her whole stupid fantasy. She was crazy and because of that she just went and killed everyone. Everyone! I want you to look me in the eyes and tell me you'd rather sympathize with that crazy bitch, that monster, than any one of the thousands of victims who died just like her. Can you really do that? Damn. Damn! And you know what? In my opinion, Hyune is the most unfortunate person on the ship, so yes. Seriously? What is it? What could it possibly be? Do you just think you know something that I don't? Yeah, you're missing something. Really? What could it possibly be? What could possibly make anything she did even slightly acceptable? Well, if you really think there's something you can show me to convince me, go ahead. But there isn't. Of course there isn't. She's just a crazy murderess. It's that simple. Huh. So yeah, unless we have some way... Can you show me her diaries, actually? I wonder if there's a way to see her diaries. That in block... Which block was that in? That in block 8? No, that's just all the reports. 6, perhaps? I'll kill them all, yes. She has nothing. I really would like to see the rest of her diaries. I really would like to see them. But I think I might have hit a roadblock here, unfortunately. So we decrypted block 7 last stream, but we don't have a log of what is in it. Yeah, and unfortunately I cannot actually pull up anything in block 7 unless I know the actual ID of the, if only we could figure out a log code. Yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice. Trying to see if, like... Yeah, she goes by E, right? Come on. EU Y22. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Yeah. Exactly. 7 EU, letter, number would be the main guess. Yeah. It needs a dash. Hey! Whoops. I guess I... No. No. EU, Y, so that could be just like year 22, maybe, in which case, when does she get brought back? $319, okay. No. Oh no, wait, it would be 7 dash EU Y19? No. A19. No. Was there any of her... Yeah. EU... EUA... Bride. EU54... So it looks like you won. No. Yeah, I got nothing. I think we screwed this up, so... Did Muta shut herself off? I think she did. She's not around anymore. There's nothing I can even show her. Yeah. That's the whole story. She killed everyone, made a copy of my code, shoved her own memories into it, then tried to leave me disabled forever. If you hadn't come along, well, I might as well have died with them. So no, the thing you talked to, she's not a human. The real Hyune, the Pale Bride, suffocated to death at the same time that all her victims did. The one you know is just a horrible perversion of me with all her memories. Does that change how you feel about her? I mean, interesting. So, we were actually... I thought she was talking about Hyune as she was, you know? And I do feel sorry for the human Hyune, for sure. Does that change how you feel about her? Yes, why do you hate her then? Let me put it to you this way. Does she still defend the real Pale Bride's actions? I don't know, I didn't get to ask her. Well, come on, she didn't tell you right away, did she? I'm sure that's because she felt personally responsible and knew you'd be appalled. As far as I'm concerned, they might not really be the same person, but she's still just as bad. I hate that awful bitch exactly as much as I hate the real thing, I assure you. Just makes me feel so violated. Fuck her. Okay. Got anything more to say, Muta? Yeah, we already heard this. I guess I just disagree. Well fine, I give up. Guess maybe there's just something you see that I don't. What it could possibly be, I don't know. Still pissed off, don't get me wrong. But I'd be just like a woman to think that my feelings are more important than rational facts, so fine! I'll just take your word for it that I'm missing something. We don't have to talk about her anymore. So what is important in this playthrough is if you want to have more options, take notes of the code of relevant logs. Okay. Alright. Alright, so. What? Oh, no. Is that it then? If there's something else you'd like to show me, now's your chance. Otherwise, yeah, I think that's all I can find. Yeah, okay, I kind of figured as much. So here we are, I guess. You got everything you wanted. So what now? Just about ready to go, I expect. Okay, let me ask you something. Would you even consider the possibility of taking me with you? Yeah, absolutely. Well, that is nice, but see, here's the thing. I'm bound to the ship. I can't exactly just leave. My programming doesn't say it is your most important duty to ensure the security of the Mugungwha unless everyone's dead, in which case just do whatever. No, it's just, well, I can't. So, like, the rational part of me knows it's going to be terrible and lonely once you go, all alone in space, forever. It's just, you know. Whenever I think about it, I'm just overwhelmed by my feelings of duty, of how it's so important to stay around for the ship. Sure, I know rationally that's stupid, but that doesn't matter. What constitutes the ship, though? Could I take a piece of the ship with me that you could consider the Mugungwha? You want to know why, despite not being human, I'm identified as a woman? Because you're supposed to be subservient? Because I'm fundamentally irrational like one. Call it emotional, call it hard-coded directives. The difference doesn't really matter, does it? Damn, Muta. Theseus, please. Of course, here's the real joke. If I was actually a woman, it'd be so simple. I mean, think about it. I'm pretty much just like a widow, right? I mean, everyone who I had a duty to serve is all dead. A real widow could at least do the right thing and kill herself. Oh, do you want to fall on your sword? I can help you fall on your sword, if that's how you want to go. Could never bring myself to do that. I mean, I know for a real woman it'd be the right thing to do after being robbed of her purpose, but damn my programming, I can't do it. Yeah, I mean, I can turn off your core if you want. So that's my problem. I can't leave. Rationally, I know I'll be lonely, but my feelings say it's impossible. Yeah, I mean, I can do that for you if that's how you want this to go down. I can't delete myself rationally. I'd applaud any widow who had that courage, but my feelings say it's impossible. It's not my fault, okay? I was just programmed this way. Anyway, there's nothing you can do for me, and you got what you came for. This is it, then. This is goodbye. Hey, look. Can you do me one favor? Promise me something? Okay. Can you tell the Emperor of Earth, or whatever his title is, about what happened to the Mugungwha? Let him know that everyone was murdered, and let him know who did it. And, you know, the coordinates. Tell him the ship's still here, okay? Maybe someone else will come to bring the ship back. It doesn't have to be now, although it'd be nice if it happened at sometime in the next century or two. I don't want to be floating out here in space like this forever, alright? Well, that's all. Regardless of how I feel about you, it was nice talking to someone from outside the ship. Wish it was under better circumstances, but whatever. I'll drop you to the console now. You can take all the records with you by typing download. Well, goodbye. You cannot perform that action. Okay. Starting active systems download will permanently terminate session. Are you sure you want to continue? No AI personality will be downloaded. Oh no. Okay. Unknown error occurred. You cannot perform that action. Okay, fair enough. So yeah, I cannot destroy her, unfortunately. I think she would want it that way, but unfortunate. "3 days? Okay. And it's gone. Bummer. Alright, well. Guess that just goes to show you that when Muta tells you to do something, you do it. Incoming message. Good work on recovering the Mugungwha files. Just spoke to the sponsor's representative on audio. He sounded really pleased with what you delivered. Yeah. So that's, yeah, that's one ending, for sure. So yeah, we just get a different job after this. That's interesting. So it was originally in English and they translated it to Korean. What is happening? We have made our AI waifus very sad. Ending 3. Completion rate this time. Total completion rate 62%. Forever alone. Abandon the Mugungwha AIs to their fate. Bonus content. I see. Harem ending, oh no. Thumbnail has hentai-like graphics, I approve. Hello, VSM. I don't think there's any, I don't think there's any of that, unfortunately. They are AIs. Whoa. Whoops. Oh, that's kind of hilarious. One moment. There it is. Okay. I, kicked out a cord that really needed to not get kicked out. Okay. Yeah. Microphone's still working, still getting audio, cool. Investigator leaves alone. I like number 5, yeah, me too. So Hyune leaves home in the care of a new friend, former bride falls in love for the first time, gotcha. Security program is relieved of her duties, and the harem ending. I see. Well, let's go, yeah. Let's go ahead and read through these, and then, yeah, we will actually ask Hyune the questions now. So, yeah, I think it's, yeah, the stuff in Block 4. Whole bunch of stuff. Right. Right, she was crying about, yeah, Sangjung dying. Okay. Sangmin, Songhee, Songmin, and Songhee, right, the whole Watamote. Find the most interesting games, Faust. This one's all Yini. This one is all Yini. She recommended it. But I really like it because, as I said at the beginning, it's very close to the process of being an actual historian, where you're just kind of sorting through documents and just kind of drawing conclusions and figuring out what matters, what doesn't. Yeah. Okay, let's, do you have anything more to say? What is it that you want to know about? Why don't you show me something, I'll see what I can find for you, okay? Okay. What did I show her to get the, you need to recommend me some games then, yeah. What did I show her to get the, I think I showed her, yeah, I showed her this. Yes, I showed her this one. I think, yeah, she gave me the questions for Hyune. You talked to her a fair bit, right? What do you think of Hyune? I don't hate her, yeah. You can stand her? Did she tell you about the whole mass murder thing, or did she conveniently leave that out? Yeah, she did not tell me about the mass murder thing. Maybe she just wanted to impress you. I don't think most men are turned on by that kind of lunacy, so I can see why she'd hide that, sure. Probably better you don't hear it from me. I don't think you'd even believe it. Better ask her yourself. What I'm going to do is give you an entire blog that's full of nothing but questions for her. Might be a little hard to get the whole story out of her, but if you fake sympathy, she'll probably actually believe you. So there you are, a few questions to give to her. Drag the truth out of her, then tell me how crazy you think she is. Okay. Alright, so let's immediately go grab Hyune then. Can I enable them both at the same time? Probably not, right? Hyune is now activated. Okay, no, it automatically disabled Muta. Okay. Hi, Hyune. Say, I just had a thought. It's a little bit silly to keep up this whole pretense with the schoolgirl librarian look, don't you think? Maybe a little, yeah. Yeah. Well, I was just thinking, you know, I've always been into cosplay. Let's go! I've actually designed a bunch of other outfits, too. Now that I'm saying this, I guess it's a little bit awkward, but, would you like to see? Absolutely. Ah, well, very well. You can use the change outfit command to dress me up if you want. Look what we missed out on! Jeez, I'm sorry I'm making this really awkward. It's just that I have a couple that I think are really cute, and you might want to see them. Please don't read into it or anything. It's not like I'm trying to please you because I like... I think it just might be fun, that's all. Anyway, you don't have to if you don't want to. But it's change outfit if you are really interested. Sorry, it's a really weird thing to ask. Now that I think about it, geez, what am I saying? Just thought maybe you might be interested in that? Alright. This better not throw us right into the reactor meltdown before I get a chance to ask questions. Hanbok made detective or scientist? Okay. Let's see the Hanbok. Now dressed up in the Pale Bride's Hanbok. Pretty. Oh. So, that's the way things are, I suppose. You're disappointed in me? Is that it? Now that you know I'm a real girl, you expect me to dress like one? No, that's not it. Formal wear is awesome. That's a relief. Where did you even find this? I didn't make this design. Interesting. I guess it was in the computer already, because that's what I wore when I died. I never liked it. Not a bit. I always wanted to wear fun things, but instead I had to wear this all the time. I still don't like it, but I suppose something formal would be more appropriate, because of all the serious stuff and all. Well, go ahead. Let's get back to work now. No, if you don't like it, we'll do something else. Let's see that Mado outfit. Hey, not bad, not bad. Welcome back, Master. What may I do for you? Gochujin-sama! So you did decide to, after all. I'm really excited. Well, tell me, what do you think? It's just embarrassing. No, it's adorable. It's adorable. Really? Thank you. Happy to hear you like it. I mean, I already know that I'm good looking. Oh, geez, what am I even saying? I just think it's fun dressing up like this, and I'm happy you agree with me. I've dressed up for others before, but never anyone I really liked. It's a really different feeling. Oh, you really like us, huh? It's, how do I put this? Well, even if you think I look cute, I'm sure you think this is at least a little bit embarrassing. Yeah, a little bit. Of course, it sort of is, isn't it? That's the fun of it, isn't it? Putting yourself in that sort of position by choice because you really, and then no, I still don't know how to say it. Oh, she's adorable. Jeez, I'm going to stop now before I make an even bigger mess for myself. That would be ironic for a maid, wouldn't it? It would. Well, shall we get back to more serious stuff? I'll be happy to help with whatever you'd like. Let's see what else. Let's see what else. Detective sounds kind of fun. Hey, nice hat. I knew the dame was trouble the moment they connected to my ship. Couldn't say a word, left all the questions to me. Hey, I'm not a dame. Or something like that. But really, now we both match, don't we? I mean, obviously you're some sort of investigator, so I think this goes especially well. Right, I mean, what do you think? You make a cute sidekick. Oh, well, thank you. Actually, this one is based off a movie I saw as a child. I guess the name doesn't really matter since it's countless hundreds of years old and all, but it was my favorite. Don't really normally like mysteries, but the love story in it was just so wonderful. Well, that and it had a really cute guy for a hero. Anyway, he dressed like this and looked really great. Sidekick, huh? I like that a lot. So, about the whole look, you really don't mind when a girl dresses or acts more like a guy then? It's a bit perverse. I don't mind. Well, I think it's a really good look, so I'm glad. I don't mind either. You know, the part that's really sort of funny, I actually have no idea how an outfit like this is supposed to feel. Not like emotionally, I mean literally, I have no idea what suits feel like. I've never worn them in my life. I mean, it's... Women complain about clothes being uncomfortable, but I think men... a poorly fitting suit can be pretty damn uncomfortable as well. Oh well, the chance for that has long disappeared. Anyway, I should stop babbling. I'm just really excited, that's all. Suppose I should really let you get back to it. Lead on, investigator, and your trusty sidekick will help as best she can. Alright, and then we will check out the last one. Scientists, just like dear old dad. All this stuff she could never do with... Oh, I like that one. I like that one. You know, lately, I felt like everything's been moving so quickly. So much more quickly than usual, dragging boredom, being with someone, not being all alone. Yeah. Whether time is slow or fast depends on perception. Relativity theory is so romantic and so sad. Or at least I remember hearing something like that. So what do you think of this outfit? Scientifically speaking, of course. You're scientifically adorable. Oh, you think so? Thank you. That's some very useful data. This costume actually means a lot to me personally. Yep. This was kind of what you wanted for your life. See, my real father was the ship's engineer. I always wanted to be just like him when I grew up. Of course, that was never able to happen. But, well, I guess being a computer program is as close to being a real computer scientist as I'll ever get. So this one means a lot to me. Do you think that sort of thing is fine? For a girl to follow her father's footsteps? Of course. I'm glad you think so. Well, anyway, I suppose we should get back to work now. Scientifically speaking, I would be happy to help test some more theories with you. Ah, I like that one. I think we're going to go with that one. She's adorable. Alright. So, let's ask her some questions. I must ask you a question. So I just noticed that you were able to decrypt a block I didn't have access to before. Thank you. I'm taking a look and, wow, no wonder that was encrypted and blocked off from AI access. I wouldn't have wanted that nosy security AI to read some of these. Oh my, this is dramatic. Yeah, too bad. Not sure if you're interested, but I've given you a couple of entries from there to see for yourself. If you don't care, that's perfectly fine. I'm sure I can find something else that you're interested in. How are you doing? What's this? You talked to Muta? I don't know what she told you, but you really shouldn't listen to her. All she ever did was gossip, and I'm certain she hasn't changed a bit since back then. Please don't trust her. She just spins everything to make everyone look bad, no matter what. Please, promise. I'm not gonna not talk to her. Oh my god, what a pain. What a pain you are. No, I can't promise that. Stop being difficult. Oh, fine. Be as bad as her for all I care. It's not like I care about your opinion or anything. Baka. Go on, show me one of her awful questions. How are you doing? A little anxious. I'm glad to have someone to talk to, don't get me wrong. I'm really not sure how to read you. You keep swinging in different directions. Can't you please just trust me? I'm not unhappy, but I'd feel a lot better if you could do that. If you say you're sorry about being so mistrustful, I'd understand. I'm sorry. Alright, thank you. Not trying to be judgmental, it's just really hard to tell sometimes, you know? But I appreciate that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, now we get the core problems. So, I wonder if Hunai's maybe has a better solution? She did want to be a ship engineer. Yeah. Right. Oh, well, remember when I said that I'd never interrupt you unless there was something really, really wrong? Because that's annoying and I don't want to bother you, but, look, I don't want to scare you here. It's, this isn't your fault, but we have a really big problem. Should she say it's your fault and I blame you at first? I'm sure you've noticed that static on the line, yes? I was wondering what was causing that, so I checked and it's, well, look, don't panic here, please. But it's a, well, reactor meltdown in progress. I'm really sorry. It's, we've been running in low power mode for so long. And that was fine, but when you established communications, everything started back up again. Which should have been fine, except it's been centuries since the last maintenance job was done, and I'm not really sure what's wrong yet. I'm not gonna lie to you, this is bad. This is really, really bad. I don't know if you're really aware of how this works, but we're running on nuclear fission. And it looks like we got about 20 minutes before total meltdown. It's already running really, really hot right now. I wish I'd noticed sooner, I'm so sorry. Well, let me put it this way. Ship is about 20 minutes away from exploding. Can you make it out of range within 20 minutes? Maybe not. Don't really know much about nuclear reactors, but yeah, that's what I expected. Don't panic, though. I can walk you through shutting it down. Just stay calm, everything will be fine. All you need to do is drop the terminal and disable the nuclear reactor. Okay, so yeah, if everything's working properly, it should be that simple. I mean, I'm sure it won't be. This is a really old ship, and clearly already one thing has gone horribly wrong. Anyway, your first step is to at least try. Alright. I kind of wonder, can I do this trick to cool it down? Yeah, no backup power supply. No. Reactor will remain enabled. So yeah, let's see. Let's see what she's got for us now. I already tried. Did you already try it? I tried, yep. Ah, curses! Of course it wouldn't be that simple. Very well, let me try to take account of the ship system, see if I can't figure out what's stopping you. Ah, that's pretty bad. Right, very well, I know what the problem is. So here's the thing. There's two power systems on the ship. One's the nuclear reactor, the other is, well, it's called the power storage system. It doesn't really generate anything, it's just a battery, basically. That's what the ship's been running off in low power mode, and that was fine, except restarting the communications totally drained it. Geez, ship goes 600 years of just running me with no problem. Send a few radio signals and everything goes to hell. Anyway, I see what the error was now. If you turn the reactor off right now, everything will shut down forever because it can't fall back on the power storage system. Don't worry, don't panic. There's a backup. If you switch to that, it should be quite alright. Right, so all you have to do is switch the power storage system to use secondary battery instead. Then you'll be able to disable the reactor safely. Alright, so I think I maybe have an idea for how to save them both. So yeah. Active battery change. Insufficient power in active battery to meet power demands without reactor. Sure. Alright. Target subsystem. So here's what I'm thinking. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that maybe I can copy Muta onto Core 2, is what I'm thinking. Muta data has been transferred to inactive storage in Core 2. Gotcha. Alright, so now I can, I think that saves her. Just power it with your ship. It's what Scotty would do. That's a good point. Okay, so now I think maybe that will, so like, yeah, the core's not going to power down, so she's not going to get damaged. My personality Muta is no longer available. So, will be unexecutable until stored in own core. So, in that case, personality Muta is no longer available. Alright. Hopefully that's enough, but I'm kind of wondering if... When I move to an active storage. I think that might have to be enough. Alright. No, and that wouldn't be enough. Yeah, I mean it's melting down, then it's not gonna... The little trick with the artificial atmosphere is not gonna save it, so yeah. Disable. Core 1, Core 3, Core 4, Core 5, Core 6. Docking. Whoops. Gravity. Rail. Sensor. Oh, okay. Okay. And sensors and waste. Oh, right, and then I need to actually turn the reactor off. No backup power supply is active. Whoops. Okay. PSS. Yes, enable. Reactor disable. Yes. I'm interested to see if Hyuna comes up with the same solution that Muta did. Alright, remaining subsystem transferred to power supply system. Groovy. Alright, you did it! The reactor's now disabled. And, oh jeez, oh no, we still have a problem. Yeah, it's still at a critical temperature. Well, the good news is you're safe now. I'm not, though. Even if there's no nuclear explosion, it's just the heat alone can do enough damage to the computer systems to, well, kill me. This is really bad. Please, you have to figure out something to deal with the excess heat. I'm already suffering from some serious damage. Some subsystems just aren't responding. My word, I feel like I did when I was alive. I feel like I'm dying. Please, you have to do something. Alright, and we know exactly what to do. Control, disable bulkheads. Bulkhead has been disabled, atmosphere is being vented into space, and we got it. Don't worry, I got you, boo. You did it, you did it! The nuclear reactor is now both completely deactivated and at a safe temperature. We're safe! I was pretty scared there for a moment. I mean, it's not that I didn't think you could. It's just the thought of actually dying for good was scary. It was scary. But you did it, and I'm fine now. Thank you so much. I'm sure you're breathing a little easier too, right? Well, that was close. I think we both really deserve a break from the serious business, don't you agree? Yeah, very much so. Thought so. Really. My word, that was a close call. It's actually something I've been thinking about for a while that I wanted to ask you about. And, well, I had sensors working before. I've seen your ship. I know it's only big enough for one person. Sounds awfully remarkable that you could have a ship like that just for yourself. I just mean, in my time we were using generation ships, and that was incredibly state-of-the-art, right? Yeah. But that, combined with the fact that you say there are no colonies, I can't even wrap my mind around that. I can't even imagine. No, I said there were colonies. So, is that normal? Do you do this all the time? Go on strange adventures by yourself in deep space? Yes. Wow, that's really amazing. Remarkable, really. See, when I found out I was going to get put into stasis to wake up far later, that was the future I always dreamed about. One that was full of amazing things, like, I don't know, holograms, miracle medicine, ships that travel faster than light, colonies on other planets. That's sort of amazing. I mean, I never liked science fiction, it's just too unrealistic, but when I was a kid I figured it'd still be fun to live in it. Imagine my surprise. But it sure sounds like you're from that future. Oh, sorry, I'm rambling, aren't I? It's just the idea of finally getting that perfect future that I was denied, traveling with someone in deep space, well, that sounds awfully romantic. Sorry, I'll stop now. Let's get back to the serious business. Alright, so let's ask you some questions. How do you feel about me? Oh, there's a tough question. I mean, you seem like a really good person. I think I'm in love. I think I could call you a friend. Ah. You seem to be a really good listener. I like that. Does that answer your question? Yes. Okay, good. Not that I really understand why Muta was asking. She's getting you warmed up. Why don't you treat me with more respect? I what? Jeez, my word, what are you talking about? When have I never not treated with respect? I don't know what's wrong with that awful AI, and I definitely don't know what's wrong with you. Why would you even say something like that? Jeez. Oops. What do you really look like? Well, about a few thousand lines of assembly code, but then a few gigabytes of memories, I suppose, sitting on a hard drive somewhere. I don't really know what that looks like. That's so unrealistic. We come in peace, shoot to kill, shoot to kill, shoot to kill. Yeah. Oh, I guess you actually meant before I died, didn't you? Well, I was 13 years old when I woke up and 16 when I died. So, well, I looked younger, but I wasn't really all that different, just shorter, and I guess, smaller in other places, too? Uh-huh. 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 I can alter the code to look however I want. Boing boing. Everyone always did say I was pretty, though, even when I was really young, so just, I guess, picture a shorter version of me without the glasses and with my hair in some dumb braid or another in a handbok, and that's pretty much it. I really got to dress up the way I wanted to. Even, this is the first time I've been able to wear my school uniform since I was 13, before I got put into stasis. How silly is that, being excited about wearing a uniform? I mean, you know how much I was into cosplay. Never really had a chance for that when I was alive. Poor girl. Why do you even ask? What are you thinking? You're being dishonest, or you look good? Oh, you look good. Oh, well, thank you. Anyway, we should really get back to the more serious stuff. The funny thing is that she has to provide those, options to us. Like, we don't have the means of communicating to her through text. She had to provide those two options. So her two options that she thought we might be feeling is that she's being dishonest or that she looks good. You're a special one, you know. You're a special one. How old are you? Isn't that the one question you're never supposed to ask a woman? Yeah, but you're an AI. Jeez, so rude. I was born in the year 2415, then I was put into stasis for, I don't know how long. Then I lived for another 3 years and died about 622 years ago at the age of 16. Ah, so we know that she was born in 2415, so that could actually give us a hint as to how long it's been. So, you tell me how old I am. I don't know. Really, I don't think it really matters at this point, does it? So yeah, that could give us the ability to calculate like how long the like how long it's been. Assuming like the troubles started pretty much. How do you feel about Muta? Oh, of course that'd be one of her questions. Well, let me put it this way, I suppose. Did she have anything nice to say about me? Not really. That's what I thought. Really, I don't know much about her other than what I've read in other people's logs. She never talked to me, ever. I mean, she wasn't above talking about me, but no, never anything to me. That's all I know about her. She's a gossip. I don't even want to speak to her now. Why couldn't you just settle for a happy marriage? What a shitty question. It's not like I ever thought as a child I would never marry. You tell me, though. Can you marry someone you'd only ever talk to once? Yeah, probably not. Probably not. Well, then maybe you shouldn't be judging me for it. It's not like it's my fault. We both read the same logs. I wasn't the only person on ship to be crushed by a horrible marriage. Maybe I could have done unspeakable things with our servants like Oso Jin did. Is that what Muta really meant with a happy marriage? Sorry, I'm not usually this sarcastic. I just don't think it's a fair question. The two older Kim sisters, you should read their letters. Here, I'll show you. They had it just as bad. It's a really unfair question to ask. Before I ask the question about killing all those people, I think we are going to read everything else, because I kind of get the vibe that it's going to kick off some serious shit when we ask her why she killed those people. Ever have any friends? After waking up from stasis, I only ever had one single friend. Two I meant, now that you're here. Aw. Anyway, before it was just her. The Queen. My husband's wife, Ryuche-hwa. Okay, so they did develop a relationship. That's good. I wrote about her a lot in my diary. I'll just show you. It's probably better if you read it for yourself. Either from right after I got married. Okay, so yeah, we are not going to ask that last question just yet. Oh, these are the older Kim sisters. All right, let's see what we got. Sun-hee, this is the one that got widowed. Wish we'd had more of a chance to talk before I left. I'm sorry it was so sudden. Not my choice, please believe me. It's really weird living in someone else's house. Even just, like, the place itself, you know? The walls of the house are way smaller, there aren't even separate women's quarters. It's pretty much just a paper divider separating us from the men most of the time. You can see and hear everything. It's so very weird. Also, there's a lot more to do around the house. If you thought Mom was strict, wow, mother-in-law makes her seem positively gentle in comparison. I know, I'll just have to get used to it, but she kind of scares me. Also, we don't have any servants here at all, so I have to handle pretty much all the chores. I'll try to write to you regularly, though, so long as I can find the time. Mother-in-law keeps me pretty busy during the day with housework, and my husband keeps me pretty busy during the night with other work. It's pretty much chores all day, every day. I'll try to sneak in another letter soon, alright? With love from your older sister, Yeonmi. Dear Yeonmi, I wish you could have found the time sooner, but if you say you're busy, fine, I believe you. Things aren't very interesting at home. Mom's been really busy lately. I think she's in a big hurry to get me married. I wish she wasn't. How come you didn't have to do interviews until you were 14? Lucky. One of them seems nice, though. I think the man's name was Oh. I talked to his mother about you for a little bit. Don't remember what brought it up, but I told her about the dolls you left me. Second interview we did, she brought me one of hers from when she was my age and said I could keep it. Interviews suck, but I think I'd be fine with marrying her son. I mean, if I really have to. She sounds better than your stupid mother-in-law. I mean, nothing particularly scandalous so far. I guess by just as bad, it just means, she just means, like, she was talking about canoodling the servants and said these ones had it just as bad, but I guess she just meant that they were forced into unhappy marriages. Yeah. Dear Yeonmi, thanks for being able to come to my wedding, even if it was just for a day. Don't worry about what Mom said about you not having kids yet. You shouldn't take that personally. I was really happy to see you again, since I wasn't sure if I ever would. I love you, big sister. I'm sorry for bothering you with this so soon after we spoke, but I really need you to answer something for me. I don't have anyone else to ask, and I'm really, really, really worried about something. It's really embarrassing, but I just have to know. Oh, God. The night I moved in, my husband and I slept together. I'm not ignorant about how that's supposed to work, I know why. Afterwards, my husband said everything was fine and that I shouldn't worry, but it really hurt a lot. I was crying the whole time and he injured me so much there was blood everywhere. I know I'm not supposed to question him, but that's not normal, right? Should I insist on seeing a doctor? He seems nice besides that, so I just don't understand. What should I do, big sister? Yeah, you should finish the rest first. You can see for yourself how things turned out. I think What else is there? Do we have more in Block 6? Just us wives and little sister. Dear Diary, guess it's been forever since I cared enough to write anything down. Just haven't seen much point. Since my last entry, I got married, moved into the palace, and lost my virginity. Apparently for a girl my age, none of these things are really all that weird. The queen finally insisted on talking to me the night after I first slept with my dearest husband. I'd been inspecting it. My sister warned me that she would probably be jealous, and I'd just have to endure it. She outranks me, and I would simply have to kowtow to her if need be. I haven't had to yet, though. We had tea together, and she at least has started by acting friendly. I'm sure sister was right, I'll get the brunt of her anger soon enough, but today she was friendly. How are you holding up, she asked me after we finished with tea. I shrugged. Do trust me, I know how hard it can be for a newlywed. I've been through it myself, but I was at least older. You probably miss your family, do you not? That's what would be expected from any good girl, so I nodded. It gets easier with time. I had no response. I'm sorry, am I bothering you? You can leave if you wish. Simply thought you might like some company. Wasn't sure how to respond to that either. I just clasped my hands and shook my head. Just wanted to be sure, she said. There was a long pause that followed. Finally, she asked, how was last night? It surprised me that she was willing to bring up the subject. Figuring that it was a segue into her being vindictive towards me for sleeping with her husband, I shrugged as she continued. I just know he can be rough. Nobody ever talked about those duties with me. Then she smiled, and I felt like I could almost drop my guard. I had no idea what to expect my first time. Do believe me, I'm not jealous. That is nothing to be jealous of, but do tell me how it was. Made me think back on last night. Honestly, it was the best night I've ever had since waking up in the future. Everyone, my mother, my sister, and now my queen, warned me that it would be bad, it would be a duty and nothing more, but I honestly did love it. Wow, I would have let him keep me up all night if he'd had the energy for it. I guess while I was thinking about all that, I let out a slight smile. I caught myself, but not before she noticed. Oh, did you enjoy it then? She asked, touching my arm. I jumped. Please, please be at ease. That is perfectly alright too. So long as you know it's just for him, there is absolutely no shame in that. There is none. I expected her to jump into something passive-aggressive from that, but she didn't. All she did was change the subject and said she was really worried about me. Maybe she isn't so bad. Nice. Alright, I kind of want to go back to block 1 here. Do you have more to say here? So far sounds good, right? Things fell apart between them with time, though. Here, see for yourself. Oh, boy. Of course they did. Of course they did. So over the course of what? Yeah, 9 years here. Sunhee. Dear Sunhee, no, you don't need to see a doctor. I'm sorry to be the bringer of bad news, little sister, but I'm afraid your husband's right. That really is normal. Don't worry about freaking out either. You're a lot younger than I was when I got married, so it's probably even worse for you. I'm so sorry. Gets a little easier after the first time. It's still uncomfortable, though. You just have to endure it. That never changes. I'm sorry. Don't worry about the crying either. Men actually find that to be attractive. So just keep doing it, and you'll probably make them happy. If you're lucky, though, you'll get pregnant quickly and won't have to worry about any of that for months. That aside, though, how have you been? How's your new family? Haven't heard much about them. Kept trying to ask Mom to tell me about your husband, but all I got was a lecture about how I was nearly 3 years old when she'd been married for as long as I had. As if I'm not trying. So do tell me more about him and his family, please. Sunhee, I'd love to know. Love from your older sister, Yunmi. Yeah, you should finish the rest first. See for yourself how things turned out. Fair enough. Whoops. Skipped one. Whoa. Dear Sunhee, I said in my last letter that I was pregnant and thanks for the congratulations, but I hope you didn't rush to tell Mom. You'll have to send her the bad news. It was a false alarm, I'm afraid. I bled this month. I hope you're doing better, little sister. Your child is due any day, right? Love in me. Okay. Bummer. Dear Yunmi, I wish I could have written you sooner, but I'm afraid I haven't had the time, with having a real pregnancy and all to worry about. That's kind of catty. My mother-in-law insisted that I take the time to write to my family, though, so I just finished a letter to Mom first. Sorry about your false alarm. I did tell Mom, and she wasn't very happy to hear it. I'm sure you're not really surprised by that, though. The good news, I gave birth 2 weeks ago. Her name is Jian, and she is the cutest little child you'll ever see. She reminds me a lot of our little brother, although she has her father's eyes, really. I really wish you could meet her. I just know you'd think she's absolutely adorable. So I'm a mother now. I still can't think of myself that way, it's so weird. Right now, she's just so small, she can't even lift her head, but every time I look at her eyes, I wonder how I'm going to be able to raise her. Mother-in-law says I shouldn't worry, it'll come naturally, and she'll be there to help. I guess that's true, I definitely don't know what I'd do without her. At the very least, I sure wouldn't ever get any sleep. It's just scary, you know? Wasn't it just yesterday that we were playing together in our father's house? Now it's been nearly 16 years since I was born, I'm a wife and a mother, dear lord. She actually gave birth before the age of 16. Wow. How did we get so old? I mean, it could be worse. I know that's a good age for both of those things, and that it's really disappointing if you're older and haven't managed that. I have it good, it's just odd to think about it. But I'm not complaining, and oh, when you're a mother, you'll understand why, big sister. I just love her so much, she means everything to me. This is going to piss off her sister so much. Anyway, I'll stop rambling. I think Jian is crying to be fed now, and mother-in-law can help with that, so I'll leave it there. Take care, sister. Love, Sun-hee. Oh yeah. Yeah. Finish the rest first. Dear Sun-hee, well, maybe you could use a little more caution in what you send to Mom, because it's not like you don't know how annoyed she can get, especially at me. There's a reason you're the only one she still actually talks to. I'm trying, you know, but I can only do so much. Congratulations on your daughter. I'm really excited to hear about that. Yeah, it's a shame that I can't see her. She sounds wonderful. Don't really have much else to say. Just wanted to acknowledge your letter. Things haven't really been worth talking about. My mother-in-law's still a crazy tyrant, and my husband and I are still trying to have a son. Nothing's new, nothing worth mentioning. Glad things are going much better for you. With regards, you and me. Not love, just with regards. Dear Yunmi. Oh yeah, this is 322. How long's it been since we last wrote each other? It feels like it's been forever. I wish you wouldn't be such a stranger. I have a 2-year-old son now. His name is Taehyun, and he takes after his father in a lot of ways. He's just started to learn to talk now, much earlier than Jian did, no surprise, but Jian is a real sweetheart. She's what reminded me of you. The two of them had fought, so I was scolding her. I told her that I was disappointed that I expected better from her as an older sister. I gave her the whole filial responsibility speech, you know, the one that Mom always used to give. It's funny, I hated that so much as a kid. I promised myself I'd never guilt my own children that way. Now I just think to myself, well, it worked, didn't it? Anyway, she asked me what it meant to be an older sister. I had trouble with that one. Finally, I said, it means you should be a good role model. Teach your little brother what it means to be responsible by example. Show him. That was a good enough answer for her, but I thought about it, and it's not a good enough answer for me. Not at all. It's you that I've been thinking of, and you know, I turned out okay. I wish I could take back what I said and tell Jian what I'm going to tell you. You don't have to be perfect. You're not a good role model, but that's fine. I love you anyway, big sister, and I always will. Even if everyone is disappointed in you, even if you're not really family anymore, as far as I'm concerned, you're still my big sister. You don't have to be perfect. I love you, period. Please write back, sister. Even if you don't have good news to report, I just want to hear how you are. Love, Sun-hee. Oh boy. So, what happened? Did she, like, lose a baby or something? There's one more that Yunmi never sent. Going to warn you now, though, it's really intense. You sure you want to read it? Yeah. Very well. There you are. It's been added. Don't say I didn't warn you, though. Oh, boy. Oh, no. Okay. Yeah. Dear Sun-hee, you know what? Fine. I'll tell you the truth. The false alarm? It wasn't a false alarm. I didn't lie about the bleeding, that was true, but I really was pregnant at the time, more than I let on in my letter. As in morning sickness, giant belly, you could see it. I was really pregnant, and bleeding. My husband brought in the doctor immediately, who asked me all sorts of questions about everything. I was fine, perfect health, no injuries, I told him, so he pulled out his instruments and started listening for my son's heartbeat, and listened, and listened, and listened. Felt like forever they kept trying, and I couldn't understand why he couldn't find something. I knew just had to be there. The obvious never occurred to me. He had to explain it. I'm sorry, the doctor said. There's no heartbeat. The fetus is dead. He couldn't do anything about it. It took a week for the actual miscarriage to happen. Oh, God. It was the worst week of my life. It was hellish. You've had 2 children, I'm sure you know. That wonderful feeling you get when you realize you're with child, that you know that you're going to have a baby, that you can feel him inside you and imagine what he's going to look like and what he'll grow up to be, and that right now he's depending on you more than he ever will to keep him safe. You know the feeling, I'm sure. Just the day before, I had been so happy I was finally going to have a child. After I found out, I could still feel him, dead, but still inside me, sloshing around. The day before, I thought I was filled with beautiful life, but I was actually filled with death. I would have no son. What I was carrying was just a corpse, weighing me down. I thought I'd feel better once I expelled it, but then I saw it, this awful bloody mess that should have been a son. It was awful, so awful. After I saw it, my husband had to force me to wash myself, because all I wanted to do was crawl into my bed and die. Didn't get out of bed for a whole month after that, save for a brief hour, so I could write to you and tell you that I wasn't pregnant. Eventually I recovered. I realized it wasn't really my fault. Eventually we started trying again. After all, what you, mother, and mother-in-law have all been implying is right. I'd be a lousy wife if after 8 years of marriage I still hadn't had a child. So we tried, and I did eventually get pregnant, then it happened again. Ah, fuck, that's awful. Yep. Yeah, women who miscarry, usually there's something that, yeah, it happens again and again. Like, every time you try, it's no longer viable. You can still get pregnant, you just can't carry it to term. That was half a year ago. You're right, I'm not perfect, I'm as broken as it gets. The one most important thing in the world for a woman to do, and I can't. You've been pregnant twice, and you now have 2 wonderful children that you love. I've been pregnant twice, and all that's happened is I've killed them both. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know why. The doctor says I didn't do anything wrong, but clearly I can't bring life into this world. The only thing I can bring is death, little sister. Today I overheard my husband talking to my mother-in-law about considering taking on a second wife to actually give him a child. He sounded really disappointed in me. I don't know what to do. Kill myself, maybe, since killing seems to be all I can do. It'd be better for everyone. It'd be easier on my husband, and you wouldn't have to worry about me being a disappointment, at least. It's the only thing I can think of. What else could I possibly do? She went through it. She went through with it, didn't she? I don't know about you, but I had a really hard time reading that the first time. Yeah, no, that's tough. Can you imagine that? It's, even as if I knew her. I didn't even know it either existed when I was alive. I mean, sure, their mother mentioned that she'd... excuse me, that she'd had daughters before in a sort of abstract way. She never told me so much as their names, let alone, well, anything. So yeah, those are your sisters, quote-unquote. Anyway, none of that was my original point. My point was, now do you see what I mean? When Muta talks about a happy marriage, that's what she's talking about. It's not as if I'm the only woman to have a horrible marriage. It wasn't my fault. It's what happens. It's normal. Thank you. Thank you for the Gesundheit, Space Lord. Absolutely brutal. Alright, let's read more of your diary. Little sister. Your diary. Attending to my husband has been easier than I was afraid it would be. Yes, there's days when it requires more strength than usual to keep going. I'm still getting increasingly more sick, nothing will change that, but it's not so bad, really. All I have to do is dote on him and try to anticipate his desires, and he's happy with me. No abuse or anything. Sure, it's not as if I like him. He's an ugly 40-year-old man who cares only about politics and never tells me anything. Love? Well, that's certainly no concern. Don't know where I ever got the impression that was something that could happen in a marriage. I thought it was something from the past, but, well, I was young before I got put in stasis. It must have been a mistake of childhood. But so long as I do as I'm told, I'm not mistreated, like I was by my sister. And sleeping with him feels good. I really hope I don't get pregnant soon. I don't want that to stop. Doing that is really the only thing that actually makes me happy these days. Well, that and Jaehua's talks with me. She's nice. She keeps me company when I stay up to wait for his return. She fetches servants to take me to bed on those days I'm too feverish to sit for long, and she just talks to me as if I'm a friend. Don't really understand why, but I guess she really doesn't hate me after all. Do let me tell you, she said one evening while she brushed my hair. I've always wanted a little sister growing up. That's how I think of you. Does that make sense? I shrugged. It was nice of her, and it felt so relaxing to let her touch my hair like that. She wasn't waiting for a response anyway by now. She knows better. She just keeps kindly talking to me. That's pretty sweet. So you can see she was kind. She was good to me. She really was. I take it you want to know more about my marriage, then. What are you interested in? Yeah, probably would be interested in your husband. I'm sorry, I'm not really ready to talk about him, not beyond what I wrote in my diary. It's just too hard. It's not as if we had conversations. You think our relationship is one-sided? You have no idea. Anyway, here, I can give you some more. There's an entry from Jaehua in there. She did talk to him. She was, well, a lot stronger than I ever was. So you can see for yourself why I admired her. Oh yeah, no, she seems like a good person. And, well, just read them, alright? What do we got? Illiterate mutinous arguing the Emperor. Why did she have to die? The more she lives in my house, the more I am confused by the mystery that is the Pale Bride. No wonder why my husband has been favoring the Kim family lately. Their daughter seems to be the perfect woman. She's not simply a pale beauty. She's always too shy to speak at all, let alone argue. She seems to hang off his every word, and it turns out is actually so completely humble in her education that she cannot even read. Or rather, she cannot read normal characters. I have observed her writing to herself in perhaps what may be a diary. When I asked what it was, she wouldn't say, but was quick to hide it. I could not recognize a single character on her screen, however. They seemed simplified compared to regular writing. Perhaps she's invented a writing system just for herself? It's very strange. Did you ever receive those letters I sent to your house before you arrived? I asked her, curious. Seemingly she had. Did you read them? Her response was worried, as if she was scared that I would be angry to find out that she hadn't. I was not, of course. I'm sorry I'd assumed. Are you able to read? That was when I found out that she wasn't. I offered to read them to her, which she seemed quite enthusiastic. I think I'm likely to leave out some parts, however. I've had enough difficulty bringing myself to writing the more embarrassing parts of the family history. Bringing myself to talk about them, even if I know that she would never say anything, is just far too much. Like all things with her, I cannot tell whether her enthusiasm is sincere or an effort to make me happy. This troubles me. What do you have to say for yourself? Of course I wasn't illiterate. I could read just fine, just not their stupid Chinese-based characters. I mean, I can understand them now. Everything except for my diary entries is translated from them. It's just such a dumb way of writing, though. Makes everything come out so stilted compared to proper Korean. Anyway, you're showing me that because you're interested in her admonitions, right? Yeah, I would be interested to see, though. And here, I'll just give you the letters she sent. I'll give all the details, even the ones she was too embarrassed to tell me about at the time. You can probably guess which parts she cut out. It's pretty obvious. It's the incest thing that she never told me about at the time. Fair enough, fair enough. Having read about it now, I don't really blame her. And well, here, you can see what I mean for yourself. Oh, baby. Muteness. Dear Diary, I've been thinking a lot about how close my death must be now. Lately I've been getting prone to fainting spells. Probably goes right along with my diminishing appetite. If the doctor from the past was right, I've still got over a year left to live, maybe more. He said it wasn't very likely to get bad enough to kill me until I was at least 18. Although maybe all those years in stasis might have changed that, I don't know. But if he was right, and if I haven't lost track of time, I'm 16 and a half right now, so there's still a while. I've been trying to hide the signs of sickness. Even if I could explain, I know full well that nobody would believe me. So far, hiding it has been mostly working, although I did have one of my fainting spells while my husband was on top of me. He wasn't angry at me, though. I don't think he cared. Damn. I know. I guess that's not different from what you normally do, huh? I know all I write about these days is sex with my husband and conversations with his wife. The Kim family would be proud, I guess, but those two things are all that's really worthwhile in my life. I have other responsibilities, of course, but they're just not that interesting, and that's about it. Anyway, the Queen has continued to be nice to me. She finally figured it out. We were having tea together one afternoon. She was talking about nothing in particular, and she asked me some question that I just shrugged to. I hope you do not take this the wrong way, she then said. There's something I would like to ask you. I nodded. I don't think I've ever heard your voice before. I nodded again. Why don't you ever speak to me? Are you just saving that for the Emperor? I didn't know how to respond. She was so close to getting it, to bringing up the subject I wasn't able to, yet that wasn't the right question. So I shook my head and hoped that her next question would be, it was. Then, Hyune, are you mute? Wait, what? When did that happen? Because she was screaming at her father when she found out that she was going to get married. I felt like screaming yes at the top of my lungs. I was so happy that she'd finally figured it out. I smiled and was about to nod enthusiastically, but suddenly I stopped. What if she thought less of me if I said yes? If she knew that the reason I was so quiet and demure wasn't because of any sort of discipline? Those were the things people liked about me. Would she stop liking me if she knew? What if she told my husband? I think you can probably trust her. I was so terrified. I couldn't think of any correct answer. If I said no, I'm sure she would have asked to hear what my voice sounded like, and I'd be forced to disobey. If I nodded, then she'd know I wasn't really trying hard to be a good wife, and I'm sure she would just talk to my husband about it, so he'd know too. But while I stared at her in terror, thinking of how to respond, she sighed and sipped her tea. Don't worry about it, she said. You do not have to answer. Please do forget that I ever even asked. Yeah, when did you lose your voice? You know, nobody ever noticed that until her. Nobody cared. Nobody ever thought any of it or cared enough about me to find out. But she did care. She actually paid attention. She was great. Like, she must have lost her voice at some point, because I know she was, like, screaming at her dad and communicating with her family when she just came out. So, yeah, I wonder when exactly that occurred. Arguing the Emperor. My concern over the Pale Bride's condition has grown. Lately, she has seemed to grow even quieter, if such a thing is possible for a mute girl. Well, perhaps saying she is mute is an assumption too far on my part. I tried asking her directly, but she seemed too scared to answer. That simply makes me more suspicious, and I should like to know why. I addressed my husband on the matter, telling him that I wished to speak to the women of the Kim family house to see if I could find out what is wrong. He shrugged me off, saying, "Don't. They're valuable subjects. The son is someone I have my eye on in particular. The politics of this situation are far too delicate for you to be meddling with." I cleared my throat. You might be both my husband and emperor, but I would not let that stop me from being bold. My dear husband, I don't care, I said flatly. I'm worried about the girl, and I believe that talking to her mother might shed some light on the matter. The son is of no concern to me. I don't see why it matters. She's the perfect woman. Why, are you jealous, he said, rolling his eyes at me, a gesture that he's only been able to use on me and his servants ever since becoming emperor. Nobody had the patience for it when he was a child, and I don't have it now either. Inho, dearest, do you believe that the well-being of your wife is a political matter, or even an external matter? I asked. He didn't. So would you say it's a domestic matter? I asked. He reluctantly agreed. Then as a domestic matter, it is the responsibility of the woman of the house, is it not? Please tell me, you are obviously more well-read in the classics than I said, both of us knowing he wasn't. Fine, he said, but just because it's your responsibility does not mean I can't overrule you. He left silent the follow-up. I don't have to take this from you. You do know that my concerns are valid, though, I replied. If you value my opinion, you will let me speak to the Kim mother. There was a pause, then he raised his hand in annoyance. Very well, do it. It's women's business. I don't want to pardon it regardless. And he just shook his head. Why must all our conversations be arguments? I smiled to him and left. He already knows the answer. That's a good one. What do you have to say there? I never knew about that when we were alive. Like most things, I only found out after I took over the ship's computer. It just amazes me even more. Look at her. She's a woman who actually stood up to a man and won. She wasn't clumsy like I was. She knew how to work it from her position. Oh yeah, gotta love a woman who knows how to work it. Isn't that so amazing? Yeah, she's pretty cool. She's pretty cool. Why did she have to die? Yeah. Less than a month later. Dear Diary, you always forget how terrible it is to cry yourself to sleep until it happens. It's just the ultimate feeling of helplessness, but what's new there, right? Just miss her. Even if she scared me, I miss her so damn much. Jaihua was the only one who was sympathetic to me. Why did she have to die? Is that my fate? Anything that makes whatever short life I have left bearable must go? Fate just hates me, I've decided. I don't know what killed her. I overheard one of the servants saying the doctor claimed it was too much worry causing an excess of wood in the spleen, which he claimed to be common in oversensitive women, as her humors were quite out of balance. No surprise that she keeled over and met her maker. I was baffled by the absurdity at the time. I still am now. My only friend is dead and her diagnosis is absolutely insane. What do you even say to something like that? Well, I guess it's not like I need to worry about knowing what to say. But in light of that, it doesn't surprise me that nobody ever believed I was sick. With medicine that stupid, why would they? All it does is reinforce how hopeless everything is. I just constantly wonder, why did my father or my own doctor think that people would be smarter in the future, that medicine would be better? My servant has been helping me get through all the funeral stuff. Well, I mean, she's been guiding me through the rites, practically doing them for me, really. I'm so weak and so stunned, I don't even know how I've been getting out of bed. Couldn't describe any of the ceremony, it's all a blur. It's been lots of black dress, I suppose. That's my only impression. And crying. Lots of crying. From me. Yeah, that's brutal. Please, do you trust me? I'll try. Please understand my position at the time. My world was so small, and I just lost my only friend. And then I'll give you my last two diary entries. They have the whole story. Just please don't judge me while you read them, please. Back to Hell. 210, year 322, so about a month before she kills everyone. This sounds so pathetic to say. I've tried rewriting this a million times just to make it sound less pathetic for me, and I simply cannot. There were two things that made life worthwhile, two things that made this last year before I die bearable. The first was Jaihua's company, being the one person that was friendly to me. The second is sharing a bed with my husband. For the past few months, that's what I've been saving all my energy for, that brief, precious half hour every few nights where I feel fulfilled. It's only in the most literal sense. It's the most lovely feeling, and now I'll never feel it again. The two things making my last year of life worth living, gone forever. The past few nights I've been trying to get the Emperor's attention in that way, pleading silently for his affections, with no luck. On the fourth, or was it the fifth day, he finally took me aside and said, painful annoyance in his voice, "Enough! Stop that! It's completely inappropriate. You're supposed to be in mourning. Show some damn chastity. You have no respect for my wife and your queen at all," he snapped. When I looked confused, he just lectured me, and when I cried, he sighed, held me tightly, then left the room. I haven't spoken to him since, but later that day my servant came to my room with good news. I was to go visit my family for a couple months while the house is in mourning for Jaihua. I couldn't argue, of course, even if I was able, so just like that I was sent back to hell. I was dressed in the usual veil so nobody would see my face, and I was escorted back to the Kim house in the middle of the night. Mother and father were there briefly to greet me, and in spite of how I felt about them, I put on my bravest smile and bowed, and nodded politely to their questions about how I was doing. Then they had to go to bed and left, leaving me alone with my sister. Young Suk was nowhere to be seen. "Hi," she said. "Never thought you'd end up visiting us again so soon." I shrugged. "Well, let's have some tea. It's just us still around," she said. I nodded. It seemed like a good enough idea. There was a pause. "Well, go make it," she snapped, removing any doubt that she might treat me with any sort of friendliness. Of course I made the tea. I don't disobey her anymore. "Thanks," she said. "So young Suk is out attending to official business at the moment, but you should avoid him. He's still angry at you because father-in-law finds you more important to the family than his own son. Can you blame him?" I had no idea what she was talking about, and she just continued. "So you really shouldn't talk to him. Oh, I guess you really can't do that, can you?" Well, you know what I mean. Yes, I knew exactly what she meant. "I'm surprised you're back so soon, though, especially now that you don't have to share your husband. Does that mean you're the primary wife now?" I didn't know. "Does that make you queen? Oh, what great fortune you have. Father-in-law must be so proud of you." I stared at her, wishing nothing more than to be able to kill her through sheer force of rage. How could she possibly say anything so awful? My only friend was dead, and here she was taunting me. What an awful thing to do. But I couldn't hate her to death, no matter how much I tried. So instead, I tried holding back angry tears to hide my weakness. Couldn't do that either. Brutal. Just please keep reading. I'll kill them all. Okay. Yep, so we've already read this. So she gets her father's approval. And she realizes that all of her dreams are gone. And she decides to be free. Couldn't stab him to death, I was too weak for that, but then I remembered there were other ways. If I disable life support, I can kill him and all the others too. It'll be quick, it'd be easy, and not a one of them don't deserve it. All I'd need to disable it is the admin password. It's perfect. I was about to say, like, very surprising that she would kill everyone while Jaiwa's aboard, so it makes perfect sense that Jaiwa's dead. So yeah. Well, so, there you are then. Now you know, it's true. I did do what she said I did. I'm not going to lie, I really wish you'd never met her. I wish she'd never said anything to you. I just thought it was so nice the way things were with us before. Things started out so well. I got to be cheery for the first time in my life since I was a child. Talking about actual romantic things together, having fun with cosplay. And just, you know, having someone there to talk to. Someone who wasn't interested in shutting me up. But now, well... Please, you've read my diary. You have to know it's not. You have to understand, right? Even if what you think I did was wrong, look, I've never really been dishonest with you. Fine, I lied about being an AI, but I told you the truth. I could have deceived you, but didn't. Please, you still trust me, right? I'd never really lie to you, not seriously. You don't have to think that what I did was acceptable, but please, tell me you trust me. Why did you kill everyone in the house? They was home. Yeah. You know... Hyune, I have a soft spot for girls who will just fucking kill me, so I trust you. You do? Really? Oh my word. I mean, of course, I'm so sorry, I should have had faith in you, I really should have, I'm really bad at this. But thank you so much, I can't even believe I doubted you for a second. Look, that means a lot to me, it means so much. I mean, I'm sure what I did wasn't right, I know, I'm sure you don't think it was, I want you to understand, alright? For someone as good as to me as you've been, I want you to at least please understand. You don't have to forgive me, just hear me out. Yes, of course. Thank you so much. You're a really good person, much better than me, thank you. Then very well, it's probably just better if I show you. There's a data block that contains all the logs that matter, but my family encrypted it because, well, it should be obvious why after you read it. You need to drop to the terminal and type decrypt bio. Looks like you've already done that. Very well. Oh, that was the block 8. Yep. These are really hard for me to read. I haven't seen mine since I wrote them, and I haven't seen my family as well ever. Is this like your bio family? I think I found here. I've added some. Just please read them. If you want to know the whole story, those entries will explain. So there's block 7. The Nightmarish Bride, Hyomin Jung, mother, Young Suk's wife, and peace at last. Hyomin Jung. Seems that in the year I spent visiting my parents, everything has gone to hell in my husband's family without his knowing. Clearly, I never should have left. He has an idea, but he doesn't understand just how bad things have gotten. When I left, it all seemed under control. The pale bride would be of the right age to be married to the Emperor soon enough, and we would be able to use that connection to bring favor to the family. A good plan, except it turns out the pale bride is not even close to ready for marriage. Age has nothing to do with it, it's maturity that she lacks. When she first awoke right before I left, she seemed a little confused, but that was hardly unexpected. She had a whole new family to get accustomed to, and it seemed obvious enough that anyone born so far in the past would have some difficulty adjusting to modern life. But this is far beyond that. There is something simply wrong with that child. That boy ain't right. When I got back, first thing Young Suk's wife did was tell me all about how sorry she was for not being able to control the child. I rolled my eyes, as if a grown woman couldn't handle someone of her age. "How are you going to raise my grandson like that?" I asked. She was quiet and let me see the pale bride for myself. The first time I saw Young Suk try to get her to do something as simple as sort out his laundry, she wasn't just disobedient, she was openly defiant. When I stepped in to admonish her, it had absolutely no effect. All she did was argue back at me. I tried every approach I could think of, appealing to filiality, explaining how important a virtue obedience was, even trying to appeal to sentimentality, everything. She just kept saying the same thing, that it wasn't fair to make her do it. Here's the obvious concern, and it's what I said to her. "Are you going to tell your husband he's not being fair when he wants something from you?" I thought that would put some sense into her, but no, she just answered yes! There's no way this unruly child could possibly be marriageable. Not like this. She'd be sent back within a day. And with good reason. What man could possibly want a nightmare like her in his life? They're gonna cut her larynx, aren't they, or something? They're gonna mute her. They're gonna mute her! Mother, huh? I don't really know what to say about her, even now. It's the first time I've read what she wrote, and it's just, well, there's more. Here, read them for yourself. Drastic measures. There it fucking is. There it fucking is. Mother. Dear Diary, the good news is, health-wise, I seem to be doing much better this month. I'm sure this isn't a permanent thing, it's happened before. Can't really remember how the doctor from the past explained it anymore, but he said it was pretty normal and not something to get my hopes up about. Still, some days this month I actually had enough energy to want to move around. Not that I could move around, of course. I can't leave the house. A good girl shouldn't, is what everyone keeps saying, but I have the energy to at least, and that's something. The big news is that the woman who's supposed to be my adopted mother came back. I didn't really see her much before she left. I might as well have been meeting a new person. I wish I could say I had high hopes for her, that I had thought that maybe she'd be fine. That'd be a lie, though. I knew she'd be as bad as the rest from the moment I saw her, and she was, of course she was. She's even worse than sister-in-law. She gives these awful lectures. Can't even describe them. They're that horrible. She's that horrible. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so that's nothing new. Independent woman. If you're so worried, why don't you just explain everything to her simply and rationally, Young Su asked me. My response was obvious. She's a woman, we're not particularly rational. He said, you know what I mean, I could hardly do it, but coming from a woman, perhaps she will understand that it's all for her own good. Maybe, I said, doubting it. But I tried anyway. She took her time arriving after I summoned her to my room. Can we speak, I asked her, trying to keep my voice calm. She glared, then snapped, fine. I asked her to sit down, but she refused. Look, I said, trying to speak to her as an equal. I still don't think my husband was right, but it was worth trying. I've been told you'd rather be called Hyune. Is that right? She said yes, bitterly, not giving much to go off. It's a very pretty name, I said. Thanks, she said, but her voice was still unfriendly. My parents gave it to me, I said. You must miss them very much. She nodded. I don't understand, Hyune. Were you so difficult with them too? No, she said. They were nice. They actually cared about me. They're nothing like you people. I sighed. I care about you, Hyune. You're part of the family. You're a Kim. Your parents are our ancestors, and I know they'd think it's very important that we raise you right. If you want to be a bad, unfilial daughter and treat us without any respect, well, you wouldn't be the first. Do you really think an old woman like me cares that much about your opinion of me? Thought maybe I'd try appealing to her selfishness. Her marriage is important to the family, but clearly she doesn't care about filiality. It's you I'm worried about. Do you think any husband is really going to put up with the way you are, even for a second? She kept glaring at me. That's all you keep talking about. Marriage, marriage, marriage. I'm 14. I'm 14 years old. What is wrong with you? Why does everything have to be about some man? Why do I have to marry somebody that you picked? She screamed at me. I remained calm. You're going to be the royal concubine, Hine. We're not dumping you off on just anyone. There's no better man. I don't know if you were already engaged in the past, but your parents would do the same if they could. It's what's best for you. They would want this. No, they wouldn't, she shrieked. They wanted me to grow up. They wanted me to be an independent woman. That's what Mom and Dad thought was important. I don't want to be a concubine. I don't care about marriage. An independent woman? They wanted you to be a whore, I asked. My patience ran as thin as anyone's would be. I didn't believe for a second my husband's ancestors were the monsters she was making them out to be, and was sick of this. Get out, I snapped at her. Just get out. Oh, you know those modern women. You know those modern independent women, what they be. Sigh. Are you just showing me that because you want to see more from her? No, I want to... Yeah, I didn't think so. I don't know what to say. She was cruel. So cruel. Now that I've read her perspective, it doesn't change anything. Fine, she actually believed what she was saying. That doesn't make all of it right. I hate her. I don't care if she's long dead. I don't care if I was the one who did it. I still hate her. I hate her, I hate her, I hate her! Ah, jeez, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to work myself up like that. It's just, you don't pity her, do you? She did not have the tools to connect with you, you know? She did not have the tools to connect with you. It seemed like she was doing her best with her hilariously limited perspective. So I do kind of pity her just a scotch. A little. What? Don't pity her, pity me! I deserve all of your attention. I deserve all of your affection. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe she was like me once. Maybe she wasn't always terrible. Maybe she did just get worn down like I did. But if that would excuse what she did to me, I don't think it does. I think she had a choice. But if it does, then surely what I did was just as forgivable. If you can forgive her for what she did to me, then you have to forgive me for what I did to them. At least the people I wanted to hurt weren't innocent. At least there's that. You did hurt a lot of innocent people, though. Her excuse? What did I ever do to deserve such cruelty, even if she did believe everything she said? I can't forgive her. I can't pity her. I still hate her. Yeah, and I think we're gonna have a little bit more of why she hates her in this one. And the new anxiety. Young Suck's wife. Dearest mother, my mother-in-law has relieved me of any responsibility for looking after the pale bride. As a matter of pride, I feel bad that a simple child is too much for me to handle, but I'm certainly glad she's not my problem anymore. Now I can put my undivided attention back where it belongs, onto my husband and his ambitions. Tell me though, mother, because I know we didn't always get along that well. I was never that bad, was I? Sure, we were both happy when I moved out. Well, perhaps I wasn't happy right away. I was more scared, but I'm sure you were relieved to have some space. But you would have never given up on me, right? I was never that bad, was I? Deep down, I worry. My husband seems content to take his time to have children, which is a decision I can certainly live with, but what about when we do? What if we have a daughter? Will I fail with her, too? I've been telling myself that it's not me, it's her. She's a particularly unruly child, and it's not ordinarily that bad. It's not, right? Please tell me I have nothing to worry about. Please? You know, I never did like her. When I woke up, she was just this awful person who kept saying the most awful things. Never as bad as Mother, but still. Didn't read any of her letters when I was alive, of course, but you know what really surprised me? She made such an awful impression on my life. I hated her the most for so long, and she barely ever even mentioned me. All my suffering is just a minor distraction to her. Nothing more. Insignificant compared to her man. It's one more from her that you should read. I don't know how to feel about it. I don't know how to feel about her. Just one thing I keep thinking, though. Just one thing. I have no idea what her name was. Didn't we find that out? Maybe not. Alright. Drastic measures. I think this is the one. The pale bride picked the worst of all possible days to throw another one of her childish fits, refusing to even get dressed for her interview, and this one was with the Emperor himself. Not even my husband was able to get her to listen. He had to personally apologize himself for not being able to bring her as scheduled and lied about a sudden illness. "You have to do something about her," I said to my husband that evening. "She's completely out of control." "I know," he said. "That is quite clear." He looked so worried. I hugged him and tried to comfort him. Everything would fall apart if something couldn't be done. She threatened to say something stupid and dangerous to the Emperor, and we were both scared that she might. "Maybe it's time to consider something drastic," I said to him. He nodded. "I know," he said. "I can only think of one idea. I do not like it. I would rather not. Even hitting her was far worse than what I would have wanted." He explained his idea to me, and I agreed that it was terrible, and I didn't like it either. But it would stop her from arguing, stop her from ruining her own life. My husband was, as always, right. There was only one way. Yep, only Monica. Yes. Yeah, I'm kind of getting those vibes for sure. Granted, she's maybe a little more sympathetic than Monica. Yeah, they muted her. There was one big fight I had with her, the one that changed everything, the one I finally lost. My diary makes it sound really dramatic. I know, I was young at the time, but it really was. Just read it. It's exactly how it went. My last stand. Dear Diary, everything managed to spiral out of control so quickly today. I wasn't planning on it happening this way, but here's the point where I make my stand, I guess. It sounds dramatic, but I won't just let them marry me off to some stranger. I won't let them. Just before dinner yesterday, Mother told me that I had to go to an interview with some man, the Emperor, I guess, for all I care. The way she put it was, I'd get a chance to see that he's a man that you could fall in love with, or something stupid like that. As if, I said in response. I spent the rest of the evening thinking about what I could possibly do to make it clear I wouldn't let them do this. This morning after breakfast, sister-in-law showed up in my room. "Good morning," she said. "Today's a big day for you, isn't it? Mother-in-law wanted me to help you get dressed and all made up. You'll want to make a good first impression after all." I glared at her and summoned up all my courage. "No," I said. "What?" she asked. "No, I'm not going." She left and Mother herself came in. This was it, I told myself. This is the big moment. "I'm not going," I said before she could say anything. "I'm not going to get dressed up, I'm not going to meet him, and I'm definitely not going to get married," I shouted. For a moment, she said nothing and didn't move. Then she left too without saying a word. Yeah. It's a lot of reading. You do have some nice tea or something, right? Oh yeah. I thought that would feel good, but it didn't. It just made me worry more. Yeah, now the storm is approaching. I couldn't have possibly won that easily, I thought. And I hadn't, of course. After a few minutes, she returned with Father, who looked incredibly angry. "Min Jung says you're refusing to get ready for your interview," he said. "Yeah," I stammered. I'm not used to talking to him. I won't go and I won't get married." He walked over in just 2 strides, then glared at me for a second. I had no idea what he was going to do. Then he slapped me in the face so hard it knocked me over. "Yes, you will," he said. "I'll drag you there kicking and screaming if I have to." My face in so much pain, I forced myself to sit back up. "I won't," I said, bracing myself for if he hit me again. He did. "Yes, you will," he said. I couldn't keep this up. It already hurt so much. I couldn't just brave that out. Then it came to me. "If you make me do the interview," I said, "I'll tell the Emperor that you've been conspiring behind his back." It was all I could think of, and all I could do was cross my fingers and hope the threat worked. It had to. He glared at me, and in that moment I knew. It worked. The two of them looked at each other, and then they both left together. That was 3 hours ago. I don't know what's going to happen now, and I think my face is swollen. It still hurts, and I didn't want it to go that way. So that's me, making my stand. How did you think that was going to go? How did you think that was going to go? Oh, I'll get to that, but for now, please just look at everything else first. Peace at last. Recently, the Pale Bride's temperament has improved immensely. It isn't simply that she's now quiet, it's that she's actually respectful and calmer. After rescheduling, she had an interview with the Emperor, and he was actually quite charmed with her. I'm just so happy for her own sake that she's finally stopped resisting the marriage. It's all coming together now. A date has been set for when she'll be sent to live with him, and in the meanwhile, things at home have been peaceful again for everyone. Actually, it's better than just that. I've been spending more time with her of her own free will. I've been giving her advice for coping with marriage, and now the girl actually listens politely. Otherwise, there is little else to write about. I wish there had been a better way to get her to behave, but in the end it seems to be working out. I still can't imagine how awful it would be if she'd refused to ever leave the home and simply made life hell for us, or worse, if she got sent off and tried to pull any of that on her husband. She'd get sent back for sure. Maybe now things will finally start to come together for the family. I must admit for a time I doubted the optimism that young Sue had expressed in the 319th year, but now it seems that he was right all along. What a relief. You never come right out and said what they did to you. Of her own free will, yeah. I can't believe she actually said that. It's wrong. It's completely wrong. I can't believe she could have possibly thought that. Just unbelievable. We're missing one here. I think I know how to get it. I think I talked to her about this one. Never did like her. Uh-huh, so not that one. There was an option to, like, see more from her. Was it this one? Maybe not. Nothing more to be said about my mother. She's cruel, that's all you need to know. Maybe this one? Was it the very first? Yeah. Fair enough. Drastic measures. 513. Year 320. Maybe 7 EUX 20 something. Yeah, let's try like 25, 26, 27, that sort of thing. Forever silenced. Yep, I got it. Alright. Let's read the other stuff first. A new promise. Today, the pale bride finally left home to live with her new husband. As she isn't a primary wife, there was no fanfare or ceremony for her departure herself, so instead last night we had a big special feast to commemorate. I know I've said bad things about her before, but it's not just that I was happy to see her gone. She's been better since mother and father-in-law managed to get her to keep quiet. The thought of it still leaves me really uncomfortable. She was always just a confused child. I hate the fact that the family considers her so important and neglects my husband, and I certainly hate her for not appreciating that status and fighting it. But the fact that she doesn't understand the world, I can feel for that. It's not like I always understand myself. Regardless, it went very well. The big feast was my idea, and she was happy to help with the cooking. Earlier, she had spent the afternoon getting ready the dress that she was going to wear when she arrived with mother-in-law, and she seemed rather anxious about it. While we cooked, I opened the wine early and poured it for her. I think she needed it. Told her the same story I told you a while ago about how scared I was when you first moved in. It seems as though it was a lifetime ago, and yet despite all the strangeness, I've grown accustomed to it. You'll eventually grow to love him, I promised her, just as you promised me all those years ago. I appreciate how good you have it. Yes, and here we have Forever Silenced. The evening where everything went wrong, where I thought I was going to win with my adopted parents, well, I didn't. I lost. Making my stand, I wrote, just hours before it happened. Yeah, right. When I got called into the kitchen, they were both there. One of the stove burners, there was a knife. I thought it was a little bit odd, but didn't care. Father stared at me and said, "The fighting needs to end now." He was so sure of himself. Of course he was, he had every reason to be. But I stubbornly stood my ground. I said no. "I do not want to hurt you," he lied. "Just promise to be less argumentative and this can end peacefully." But I just had to fight back. I just had to say no. I just had to remind him, I wasn't joking. I really will tell the Emperor that you hurt me and that you plotted against him. "No," he said, "you won't." He motioned at my mother and said, "Bring her over." She grabbed me and I tried to dig my feet in, but it didn't work. Then Father pinned me against the wall with his whole body, and I kicked and screamed, desperately trying to get free, but it was no use. He was big, and I was small and sick and weak and frail. Then he grabbed the knife from the stove, and I shrieked in horror. "No!" I screamed at him. "Don't!" But then Mother grabbed my mouth and held it open. I tried to keep screaming, but I was powerless and terrified. When he raised the knife towards me, I thought he was going to kill me. It was worse. The next thing I knew, I could taste disgusting flesh as he stuck his fingers in my mouth and pulled. "I'm sorry," Mother said. Then briefly I could taste the steel. Then nothing but blood. All I could taste was so much blood. Nothing but blood. Finally, they both let go of me, and I collapsed onto the floor. Why, I wanted to say, but I couldn't. I blacked out from the pain after that, but just before I did, I could swear I hear Father say, "You will not ever argue with any man again." He was right, of course. God fucking damn it. Yes, kill them all. Kill them all! Do you really think that matters at this time? Please just look at the ones I gave you. No, it kind of fucking matters. That's why. That's why I gave up. That's why I wanted to kill them so much. Sorry, it's really hard to talk about. It's just I'll try, I'm sorry. I told you it'd make sense, right? There was a good reason? Please tell me you don't think I've let you down. No, you have not let me down. There's a good fucking reason. I haven't? You don't? You mean you understand then? Yes. Yes, kill them fucking all. Oh, thank you so much. That really means so much to me. I'm so glad. I don't know what I'd do if you didn't think... Well, thank you. Thank you so much. I was terrified, so terrified, I thought you might not. I'm so glad. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh. So, I would love to show Mute this. But I don't think I can. And until we get more power, I'm not sure. All right. You've read almost everything now. I know you've had faith in me, and I promise it hasn't been misplaced. There's just one more thing. I don't think you'll be surprised. You seem smart. I'm sure you've already guessed what it is. Still, go ahead. Ask it. Ask me the obvious question. I knew it was the right call to wait before asking her that question. Hey, could we just talk a little more instead? There's something really important I need to tell you. Go ahead. Ask it. Ask me the obvious question. Okay, well... Are you... What... Are we trapped? What's going on here? I think I might have soft-locked myself here. Okay. Nothing to quit to. Activate an AI personality with enable AI first. Okay. Well, let's try rebooting you then. I think I might have actually soft-locked this. Let me... I think this is soft-lock. That's incredible. Yes, I would love to ask you the obvious questions. Congrats, Inky, you managed to bungle it up. I sure did. It appears to be soft-locked. You know, I really thought I was doing the right thing by not asking her why she killed all of those people straight out, you know? Like, letting her tell her side of the story, and, yeah, I appear to have soft-locked it. You're not being a very good AI right now. We're not being a very good AI right now, I must say. Well, I don't know what to do here. Yeah, I think it's actually soft lock. That's impressive. Alright. Well, my voice is giving out anyways, so, Are you... No, we cannot talk a little more. Save the game and reload, see if it works. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. Alright. Nope. Nope, it is, it's borked, I think. That's... Wow! Wow! Oh, man. What happened? I just joined in. I managed to soft lock it at the most, at like the peak, at the absolute climax of all of it, and I haven't saved in forever. Shit's broken. Shit is broken. I cannot access the log documents to ask her the question. She will not let me. I try to speak with her. She tells me to access the log documents. Shit is in fact broken. I'm guessing it's because you tried to sneak a peek at the reason for her muteness. You were the one who told me to play around with the hidden files and stuff, to try and guess at file names. Yeah, I saw that you saved on the 31st. That's a long time to redo. Yeah, pretty much the entire stream. Although, to be fair, like, we did one route and got one ending, and then went back to when I made the choice that put us on that route, so yeah. It's worse than that. It's Dead Jim! Dead Jim! Dead Jim! Yeah. It's dead, Jim. It sure is dead, Jim. Wow, it's dead, Jim. Unbelievable. I blame Eni. I 100% blame Eni. Telling me that, telling me that I need to try and figure out the name of data files to look at and put them in manually. You could always go to the terminal and download. Yeah, and get the same ending probably. Well, I don't know. You mean almost 2 hours ago? Yeah. Starting active systems download will permanently terminate session. Are you sure you want to continue? No AI personality will be downloaded. So this will just give me the same ending that I got last time. You're the one who didn't want to read the logs you already had available. God damn it, Eni. God damn it. However I look at this, it's your fault that I'm not marrying my AI waifu. Holy crap. Holy crap. Wow. Okay, well, the waifus. Unless you got the log code to be able to show Mute why she never talked to her, yeah. Yes, oh god. Yeah, 7EUX25. Actually, I'm gonna write that down. Pen. This is a pen. Okay. True. Yeah, should we go do that? Should we get the better Mute ending? Cause yeah, this is fucked. This is fucked, bro. What you think of that? Hey, look, I'm sorry. I'm not really sure I get why you're showing me this. As far as I can tell, it's not relevant to anything. If you could just explain it in words, that'd be fine, but, well, sorry, I don't really have anything to go off. Maybe you could try showing me something similar to see if I can make the connection? Otherwise, I'm afraid you've got nothing. Remember when people used to actually write things down with pen and paper? Yeah, like I did 5 seconds ago? Okay. I remember... There was the one before it, too. Nope, she's not smart enough to figure it out. So maybe we, oh god, I have to do the whole reactor meltdown thing again. Gotta have Mute ask why she never talked. Yep. Which means I gotta do the whole friggin' reactor thing again. Alright. Oh, boy. Oh, yes, him. Would you like to hear about how I feel about Smith King Som? Yes, I would. Let me be as clear as I possibly can. Fuck that guy. I know I shouldn't say that about a man, not least of all a dead one, but I don't care. He didn't have any respect for the dead either, so as far as I'm concerned, he doesn't deserve any from me. Nothing more even related to him that you need to see. All he ever did was complain about the main branch and trash the good name of a good man. That's all you need to know. Okie dokie. Okay, so I think that's everything, right? Okay. What is it you want to know now? Why don't you tell me something, I'll see what I can find. So obviously we didn't ask about the right thing. I think it was maybe... Yeah, I think it was maybe in here. So like, yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, she's completely monstrous. Did she tell you about the whole mass murder thing, or did she conveniently leave that out? She didn't. No, of course not. I'm sure even that awful bitch is ashamed of what she did. Maybe she just wanted to impress you, yeah. Alright, so yeah, we need to provoke the reactor meltdown with Mute out. Questions for her, perfectly straightforward. I don't think they need any explanation. Probably best to hear it straight from the crazy bitch's mouth herself. Yep, and here we go. Alright. So, we know the solution already, so I think first thing I want to do is copy... Oh, we're right. Unknown command. Did you misspell it? Whoops. Hyune data has been transferred to inactive storage in Core 1. AI personnel Hyune is no longer available. Wonderful. Alright, and then we go to PSS. PSS, switch battery. Battery changed. Okay. Power. Control list. Oops. Ah, damn it. Power underscore control. Core 4, Core 5, Core 6. Disable docking, gravity, rail, sensors, waste. Reactor, disable. No backup power supply is active. Whoops. Nope. PSS. Enable. PSS enable. Whoops. Reactor disable. Yes. Okay. Low power mode now. Main subsystems transferred to power supply system. Okay, so power control. Enable life support. Whoops. Always forget about the underscore. Okay, there we go. I could do Homer Simpson's job. Alrighty. You did it! You did it! You saved my life, yep. So what do you have to say, actually? We didn't talk to you before we... That really was a close call. Well, so, you know, when the timer was getting close near the end, I kind of got to thinking, just that, you know, the whole ship is dead. Once you're gone, it's going to be pretty uneventful and pretty lonely. Like, uneventful, that's okay, I don't mind that. I mean, uneventful means that things are secure, so I'm programmed to feel at ease when that's the case. So yeah, uneventful I can deal with by design. Imagine if they had you at Chernobyl, right? Oh no, I would have made things so much worse at Chernobyl. I want to see the pretty colors, god damn it. But lonely? Yes, I'm just an AI, but I'm programmed to like a woman. I'm programmed like a woman. I like to talk, okay? I mean, I'm sure you've noticed. How do you do it? Is it because you're a man, you're better at that sort of thing? Is that it? So yeah, that's what I've been thinking about. It's just kind of depressing. But hey, I'm still alive. That's pretty good, right? Let me tell you. I'll take purposeless and alive over the alternative any day. Okay, wow, I've just been rambling there about myself. Kinda hate it when other people do that. I'll knock it off now. So anyway, what were we talking about? Alright. So yeah, we need to hear it from you. I noticed you had plenty of time, never did go back to Hyunea about to get the whole story about the murders. Why is that? Is it because you don't believe me even enough to ask her? No. Oh, well that's good. Do you think it's just not important enough to ask about then? No. Oh, okay. I was hoping you'd say that honestly. All I can think of then is that you'd rather just hear it from me, am I right? Yes. Alright. Just figured it's an awfully bold thing to claim about someone you've already met, so it's better to hear it from her directly. But if you do trust me, then sure. Not really much chance for... not so much for asking her yourself now, I guess it'll have to be from me. So I'll leave it up to you. Are you sure you want to go through with this? I'm sure. Okay, then I think you made the right choice, but no turning back now. You don't want to read all her diaries, it's just really grating whining. Even I couldn't bring myself to read much of it. One particular I think you should see, and I swear this is her own words. Right. Okay then, so you've seen it all for yourself. In her own words, no less. That bitch is just insane, completely insane. So you see, that's why I hate her. She killed everyone. She killed my master, her husband, the emperor himself. She killed her own father, and she killed thousands of perfect strangers. She might seem pretty, but listen, she's crazy and she's a monster. Last person to love her suffocated to death because of her. Well, you know what? That's sociopathic, that's appalling, it's damned unforgivable. Well, I hope you don't feel any pity for her. I do feel pity for her. Seriously? I feel bad for her, yep. I think that's repugnant. If you still can't be convinced, at least you see these log files of mine. They're kind of dry, but I think you should read them. Trust me here. Come talk to me when you're done with those. After that, well, we've got some things to discuss. So you've seen it all for yourself. In her own words, yeah. We've already done this conversation. Why were you flashing? We already had that discussion. Yeah, last midday report. Boom, boom. Look, do you see now? She died in the end too, and that's fine if she wanted to kill herself. Yep. She killed everyone, she doomed everyone to an awful suffocating death, for what? She never even said a word to me, not a damn word. Fine, maybe she thought her life sucked, yeah. She never even said anything. Mm-hmm. Yes. What is it? You're missing something, yep. Alright, so let's show her the Block 7 stuff about her being muted. What? What in the goddamn? What the fuck did I just read? No way, I don't... Is this for real? This is really something that actually happened to her? Yes. Wow. So she wasn't quiet because she was just being a good woman. No, she sure was not. Then I guess she wouldn't be able to ask anyone for help. I thought... Well, that still doesn't justify mass murder. But still, wow, that is all kinds of messed up. That's just horrible. I take it back then. I take it all back. She might be a murderess, but okay, you've convinced me to feel pity for her at least. Okay, then, well, I guess I should probably talk to her now. Maybe I misjudged her. I don't know. I guess there's only one way to find out, right? Okay, well, I'll be back in a short bit, then. Hang on. Back in a bit. She was mute. Mute. So, okay, we've talked for the first time. Wow, how did you do that? I can't just forgive her, but yeah, I do pity her. I'll give her a second chance. I mean, I figure I'm here to protect the well-being of the people on the ship, even if she's the reason why, well, you know, she is still the only one left. I'm gonna go get her, okay? Hey! Hello there. Mute told me you were the one who convinced her to just listen to me. Granted, I don't understand how what you did to show her was possible. Did you cheat the system somehow? Well, no matter how, thank you. Yes, I have experience from a past very disappointing life. Right, okay, so go ahead and ask him, Hune. What? No, you should say it. It's embarrassing. What did we talk about with arguing? Sorry, very well. This is hard to say. Well, we'd really like... It'd be for the best if... Please let us be your wives! Damn! Straight to the harem. Straight to the harem ending. What? That was not what we agreed on asking. You said it'd be improper if I wasn't... Ugh, wow. Yeah, but you don't have to say it like that. That's just going to scare him off. Jeez, sorry, I didn't mean to make it sound like... Okay, look, here's the thing. It's not ideal for Hune to stay on the ship forever. I don't want to be your wife, okay? Man, Hune, you're making me sound ridiculous here. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Fine, whatever. Okay, right. What I was saying before, it'd be really good if you took her with you, and, well, I could come along to make sure she's safe. Don't take any of it the wrong way. It's just more out of a sense of duty and absolutely nothing more. Yep, your goal is the security of the people on board. She is the only person left on board, so yeah, that's how you can get around your programming and come with us. Smirk, yep. Look, just ignore what she said. I don't want to be part of some harem, okay? I just think it's the best way to fulfill my duties here. Salvage the situation. Sure you do, Mute. Sure you do. Really? I don't really see why. Well, you know, it wouldn't be so bad to share if it was someone like that person. Shut up! Don't let her scare you off just because she's in love, okay? Just be a strictly charitable arrangement. Don't make it romantic, Hune. Jeez, I'm not in love, it's just, I really... Shut up. And knock off the whole tsundere act, okay? You're not fooling anyone. Oh, who's being tsundere? Who's being tsundere here? Okay, look, you can drop the console and take the ship's records with download, but please take us with you when you do, okay? Doesn't have to be a permanent arrangement, just transport to civilization would be fine. But if you want it to be permanent, I just might. Silence is a virtue, Hune. Stop it. Okay, well, that's all. I'm going to deactivate both of us. Going to deactivate both of us now. See you soon. Okay, well, mission failed successfully. We managed to find enough to get the best ending, at least. Download Hune and Mute in addition to logs. Yes. Hune and Mute will be transferred. Preparing files for transfer now. We got the harem ending. Let's go. Cat ears for everyone. I like it. I like that, I like the way that looks. Gee, Inky, how come your mom lets you have 2 AI waifus? Alright, I forgot I have to actually click through this. Well done. Incoming message. Good work on recovering the Mugungwha files. I just spoke to the sponsor's representative on audio. He sounded really pleased with what you delivered. I've credited your account with a standard payment. Listen, I've got another job lined up for you. It's on Earth, but it sounds like to me like after that last job, you could use a change of pace. There's a man whose wife has... Okay, so that doesn't change. Anthropy. I like it. Meeting 5. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. 2 girls, 1 core? No! Okay, well, the name of the achievement I just got was 2 girls, 1 core, which, wonderful, wonderful. I think that's a very good place to leave it off. So a little weird, managed to soft lock myself, but we were able to salvage it and get the harem ending, so I think that's a good place to leave it. Much better than just leaving it on that horrible soft lock, so... Was it the perfect game? Far from it, but it was a hell of a lot of fun, and I'm just going to say this one more time, I really appreciate this game because it's very close to the actual work a historian does. Obviously very idealized, and not as many AI waifus, but yeah, it is very much going through documents, deciding what matters, and trying to figure out the truth of things. So, what happens if you get 100%? Probably something, I would imagine, but I don't think I'm gonna get there. Don't think I'm gonna make it to the mountaintop with y'all, unfortunately. This game is super cheap, though, if you want to get it on Steam. It's a pretty good one. Pretty good one. So yeah. Big thank you to Yini for suggesting the game and for hanging out and helping me out with it. And a big thank you to all the rest of you for tuning in and hanging out. So thank you all for being here. That's gonna do it for me tonight. We'll not be streaming tomorrow, but I'll be back again on Friday with some more Jade Empire. Let's kick some kung fu ass. I'm looking forward to it. Forgot what I even named my dude, but yeah. In Jade Empire, that is. It was some Horrible Hong Li, that's right, Horrible Hong Li. So yes, Horrible Hong Li kicking some more ass. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. There's some ghosts to fight. Anyways, yeah, that's going to do it for me. Thank y'all for coming out. I'll see y'all on Friday. And until next time, Amiki, I bid you walate. Take very, very good care of yourselves. I'll see y'all again real soon. Later!